now, boys. We should be good now. Everything should be fine now, man. Let me know if you guys are back up in here. Doc, my universal chat, live streaming. We should be good. Okay, yeah, I think we're good now. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Damn, my Discord. Sorry for all the pings, boys. Sorry for all the pings. Sorry for all the pings. Unk moment. All right. Okay, this should be the last time I ping people. Sorry in advance. Holy shit. It's because my ass ain't streaming no more these days, boys. My ass don't know how to stream no more. That's what it is. Okay, I think we should be good, man. Holy shit. Okay. Oh god, this music is so fucking depressing. Turn that shit off. Okay, let's pull this back up. All right, now I think we're all good. I think we're all set. How are we doing? I just wanted to let you guys know ahead of time. I said this before I had all these damn stream problems. You're gonna be hearing me cough in chat. I'm still getting over this sickness. It's been 9 fucking days, and it hasn't completely gone. So at this point, I'm going to get an antibiotic. I have to get this shit out my system because I'm going to Japan next week, and I can't afford to be traveling and still be dealing with whatever the fuck I'm dealing with. I still don't know what I got, chat. I don't know if it was COVID. I don't know if it was a sinus infection, I don't fucking know, man. But this was the worst cold I've ever had in my life. And coincidentally so, there's supposed to be some new strand of COVID going around. So I don't know if I had it. Strep throat? No, I'm actually somebody, Raven, who's had strep throat 87 times. I know very well what it's like. One of the worst things you can catch. This is not it. Strep throat feels like I'm swallowing like literal needles. You know what I mean? That said, personally, you should have rested. Manager, I've been resting for 9 days, man. You know what I mean? I did a video here and there, but I've been resting for 9 goddamn days. Anyways, Saint spent fucking 2 hours reacting to my video about power creep and HP inflation. Proven that he truly is the #1 kudo bot. I am not about to react to a 2-hour video and argue back and forth in third-party fashion. But that said, I can't let no creator on this planet spend 2 hours reacting to my content without checking to see if they took a shit in my lawn. You know what I mean? That's way too much, bro. A whole ass 2 hours. I gotta at least see what Brother Man was cooking, and I'll be completely upfront. And Saint needs to start being aware of this too. If you react to my content and you're at the notoriety that Saint has now reached with his platform, which is good for him, you're not going to react to my content without somebody from my community telling me about it. It's just not going to happen. And they're never going to say, like, Saint reacted to your content and it was all good. They're always going to put it in a way that makes me have to go and check and see what the hell was said. You know what I'm saying? I can assume based off HP inflation and power creep, and we all know Saint's stance on Wuthering Waves, that Brother Man disagreed, and that's completely fine. The problem is, how was my content represented? If it was represented, okay, or with respect, then it's cool. And if it wasn't, well, then I'll just address whatever the hell I felt was misconstrued or misrepresented. And that's pretty much it. But like I said, I am not about to sit here and listen to 2 fucking hours, man. That's just too much. I also want to do the 2.6 story playthrough after this. So I do want to just kind of gloss over it, kind of hear some of the things he's saying. I will say, let me go ahead and pull this up real quick. I'm going to pull you guys up on the phone. Let's see here. Yeah, 2 hours is 2 hours really is crazy. That's a lot. That's a lot of shit to say, bro. Holy fuck, man. But I want to say, Saint invited me on to a podcast this weekend, and I told him I'd love to go on. I hope I can make time for it. I hope this shit doesn't get worse or anything. But he did invite me on to a podcast, and I told him I'd want to join, and he obviously wants to talk about the Endgame and stuff. My problem with that is, it looks like Brother Man made a podcast already with this video. You know, that's my problem with this is it looks like Broham made a podcast already. So it's like, I guess we're doing 2 podcasts because you know what I'm saying? Oh shit, hold on. I just seen a Saint in here. He's literally in here right now. My guy literally made a podcast. Oh shit, my bad. Hold on. I'm not even showing y'all this. Yeah, look, I said, yo, I'm down to do a pod, Saint, but it looked like you did a pod yourself, brother. Look like you did a solo podcast right here, man. Hold on, though. He did say something. I don't want him to feel ignored. Let me see where he is. Hold up, boys. I think he was on YouTube side, if I'm not mistaken. There's actually a lot of people in here. I guess this is the kind of thing. Check my message, bro. Hey, Saint, you got to realize you're talking to Unk Smack here, bro. How the fuck do I check it? It was 2 hours long because we did a bunch of demo runs in the TOA to test stuff out. Yeah, I don't know, man. Listen, brother, I'm glad you're in here, man. You got to realize, bro, when you do shit like this, you're no longer a smaller creator, man. You know what I'm saying? And we have communities that respect you have your community that loves you, and I have my community that loves me. And so if you're doing something for 2 hours and you're disagreeing or whatever, somebody's going to say that shit to my ear, and they're going to spin it in a way that forces me to have to verify what you were saying and how you were saying it. But like I said, at 2 hours, there's just no fucking way. And I'm not here to, like, you know, the thing is, the unfortunate thing about me and Saint is we do have a history of clashing in the past. And so anytime this type of thing happens, people are going to assume that it's going to go like the lengths of drama and stuff. And that's not my goal here at all. But like I said, it really, I don't know the fucking context. All I know is bro was yapping he was on my video for 2 hours. And so let's just take a couple of looks at some of the things here. You know what's funny is I was literally preparing a video. I haven't put out my Uno video. I was literally preparing a Uno video showcasing how Uno performs versus Mortefi, which, by the way, in the realms of power creep, this is a example of power creep being good in Wuthering Waves, because Uno is barely, like, she's not crazy stronger than Mortefi. In my testing, the discrepancy in time was only about 20 seconds, a 20-second difference between playing with Uno on Augusta versus playing with Mortefi on Augusta. And so, like, that was something I was literally getting ready to play, to make today. And I just wanted to show that off to the community to be like, hey, look, this is actually an example of where power creep is not a problem. In fact, Augusta's a good example of power creep done correctly. Just a little bit of a slight upgrade, nothing crazy. That's the premium unit. But then I then compared that to Xiong Liao, Yinlin, and Shorekeeper, a 1.0 team. And bro, the difference in performance was staggering. It was staggering. It was like a 47-second difference. She's a downgrade for Gian if Mortefi's built. Gian, okay, yeah, not Augusta. Yeah, okay, yeah. Xiong Li plus Yinlin gets outperformed by Mortefi Gian. That team is fucking cooked 100%. Yeah, so the reason I even was motivated to do it is because I had a lot of people telling me that there was no power creep. And so I'm like, okay, well, if there's no power creep, then we should be able to get similar time completions with some of these older teams. And if we don't get similar time completions with some of these older teams, then, well, there's a power creep problem, right? Obviously. That was what I was getting ready to do. But then I got DM'd that Saint was already, like, I don't know, in the middle of reacting. Anyways, listen, guys, we're going to check it out. I'll hear Saint out on what he has to say. I'll skip here and there if I feel like he's kind of dragging on, which Saint has a habit of doing. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I'm going to do. Let's see what he has to say, though.
All righty, ladies and gentlemen, I have been requested to react to this video.
Oh, shit. Let me turn this up.
It is a video by none other than the #1 Kurobot himself, Mr. Gacha Smack, and the
Okay, we're already off to a rough start here. We're already off to a rough start here, bro. Saint. All right, man. Hold on. Now we gotta bring up. Hold on. Let me make sure I'm not leaking my fucking dashboard here. Let me hold up. Give me some time here to pull this up. All right, because we can't have Saint out here just being. God damn it, Saint. You can't be out here being delusional, nigga. All right, hold on, man. Saintontas. All right, let's see this. First of all, I find it ironic that bro is saying that after spending 2 hours reacting to my video, defending Wuthering Waves in that 2-hour time span. Second of all, hold on, Saint. Hold up, little pup. How many Wuthering Waves videos have you made in the past? God, in the past, let's just do a month, bro. God damn, bro. Oh my, okay, 4 weeks. 4 weeks. Hold up, 4 weeks ago. We're gonna start here. And I don't even think this is taking the 4 weeks. This is like 3 weeks. 1, 2. All right. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold up, bro. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Hold up, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, God, 20, 21, 22. I don't think that's one. 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. They want Genshin 2.0. Oh, that's 28. I see Woo-Wah up in there. 29. God damn. 30. I don't know what this is. This looked like some drama. I'll let them make it on that one. 31, 32, 33, 30. We're in the 30s already, guys. We're in the 30s already. Hold on. 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43. God damn, this nigga done dropped 50 points. This nigga is Mayweather, bro. He is 50-0. 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51. Are we going for 60? 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58 videos, Saint. And I don't even know if that was a month. That might have been 3 weeks. Nah, hold on. Smack poisoning the well before the video starts? Axiom. Saint called me the #1 kudo bot. I'm not poisoning the well. I'm defending myself against somebody delusional enough to call me the #1 kudo bot when they dropping 60 points. Can we not acknowledge that I'm not poisoning the well? What? Now let's go to me. Hold up, boys. All right, 4 weeks ago. We'll even count this one, even though. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This was drama about Woo-Wah. If you want, and I didn't even show a single piece of Woo-Wah gameplay. 7, no, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 videos for me. 60-piece videos. I don't know if it was 60. I think it was like 55. Say, come on, man. Hold on. Let's listen to this one more time. Where's this at? Let's listen to this one more time.
Truth been requested to react to the
58.
All righty, ladies and gentlemen, I have been requested to react to this video a lot, right? It is a video by none other than the #1 Kurobot himself, Mr. Gacha Smack, and the truth about the new Endgame content in Wuthering Waves. And this is the thing, right? I don't think just looking at the first
Had to stop watching Saint because it's too much pretty drama slop. Did help me with echo grinding though. Listen, man. If y'all think this is about to be a Saint smear campaign, it's not. I will say Saints show do be letting niggas throw shots at me, but that's not how I get down over here. All right, we not here to smear on my boy. That was just like lighthearted fun. But I do think it's funny that if Saint made damn near 60 videos on Woo-Wah and I made 14 in the same time span, and then we take in that Saint spent 2 hours defending Wuthering Waves against me criticizing it in recent. Come on, man. Come on, bro. There's no way we're still doing this #1 Kudo bot shit. There's no way. You niggas are cooked. Saint, you are cooked. Your ass is not about to be in my chat slandering #1 Kudo bot with that amount of content pumped out for the same game, bro. Anyways, it's all good. Let's continue on.
First frame of this video does it much justice.
Okay,
we do have
let's
our
carry
own
on.
opinions about the TOA. Not actually that.
Hold on, what did you say?
HP inflation, power creep, and then one of the most nasty grimaces I've seen this man ever make before. It's not actually that bad. I'm exaggerating.
Good clickbait.
So yeah, that's going to be some of the
clickbait, man.
context heading on into this one. Let's go ahead. Let's give it a bit of a listen because we do have our own opinions about the TOA, but I'm not necessarily sure if power creep and HP inflation are the words that I would necessarily use. So without further ado, let's see what he has to say.
All right. This is one hell of a nuanced topic. I'm going to try my best to be as fair but shoot as straight as I possibly can. Does power creep officially exist in Wuthering? How's that audio, Chaz? Is that audio okay? How's that sound before I go any further? Waves.
Yeah, I think opening up with a bit of a disclaimer like that, especially with a thumbnail that's like that, you know, loaded, is I think that's a good move by Smack heading on into this one.
I think at that point, what I would say right here, and Saint does this quite often. He keeps talking about like thumbnail clickbait and shit. He did this with one of my previous videos where he was like, the one where I put scam in the thumbnail, and he pretty much was like, if I remember correctly, he was like, I can see why you got a lot of flack for this. I can see why this. If you look at this thumbnail, that's a spicy thumbnail. But it's like for anyone to take offense to a thumbnail saying scam for a weapon banner inside of a game, a gacha game, mind you, where you're selling the weapon separate from the character is already a scam in and of itself, to be completely honest with you. You can't go wrong with calling weapon banners scams, period. The other thing that's fascinating about weapon banners, guys, is you can never get the full value of the weapon. You want to know why? Because if they were to give you the full value of a $100 weapon, it would piss off the budget and free-to-play players. And so you're always going to get a watered-down version of a signature weapon, all in an effort to balance it out to appease people who can't afford the weapons. This is another way of looking at it as a scam. It's like, so the weapon banner in a perfect world shouldn't be there, right? But it is there. That's the reality of it. That shit is there because we enabled it with our wallets. And in my point of view, if it's going to be there, it should be increased in value for the fucking price point, but it's not. And so anybody getting mad at me, like going at it, calling it a scam, that is, if you're not owning the company, if you don't own the company, there is no, in my personal opinion, and chat, correct me if I'm wrong, I will not ban anybody. There's no reason anybody should get mad at that. In like in adult sense, in mature way, is that crazy? I would say the same thing here with HP inflation and power creep in my thumbnail. That is a argument for the betterment of the consumer, not for the company. That is an argument that is quite literally, I am pushing for the consumer to have a better experience, and I'm going against the company. If you're getting mad at this, that's ludicrous. You see what I'm saying? And that's I think that's the problem I have with Saintontas' framing right here, right off the bat. It's like he's framing it as if I'm out of pocket for my thumbnails. But it's like, I mean, hell, we could come over here and look at Mr. Tontas thumbnails, and it's gonna be the same thing when we look at any of them hot, spicy thumbnails he be doing for ZZZ and shit. You know what I'm saying? We all make spicy thumbnails, man. Like that's just what it is. The tragic downfall of Hoyoverse, it's over. It's like you're asking for Hoyoverse aggression at that point. But I don't knock the game because I understand perfectly well the hustle. I don't hate the player. I'll talk about the game. You know what I'm saying? But that's what gets the clicks. Anyways, that's all I'm gonna say off of that part. You know, just to hey, push back a little bit more. This is what I mean by like if React content creators are gonna come onto my content and frame things in a particular way, you have now put me in a position where I have to defend myself. Inflation now a thing in Wuthering Waves. First off, power creep has always existed in Wuthering Waves, but it's never been problematic due to the ability to still be able to have skill expression, get good skill to the point where you comfortably clear all endgame content. Let me state and clarify one more time when I view power creep as a problem. It's when the baseline of the game's difficulty has been compromised by HP inflation and then power creep, meaning the newer characters are much stronger than the older characters. And if you're somebody who's very skilled at the game and you do your rotations properly, you're dodging, parrying, and all that jazz, and you're still struggling to clear the in-game content, we now have power creep that is problematic. I would actually be so curious to hear what Saint has to say about this. I would.
Okay, yeah, I see the point of view that's being brought into here, right? If you're using a meta level team, right? A meta, and keyword to me is a meta level team from before, right? Before the
So we're already off to a bit of a difference in that perspective, which I think is completely fine.
supposed power creep, then new meta teams come in, and then it feels like you're not able to clear with the old meta ones. I 100% agree with that take, right? I'm thinking about like viable teams. Like I'm thinking back to like some of the Hoyo games, right? Think about a Hu Tao Genshin Impact. Think about
Good example.
a Hu Tao, Yalan, Jingcho, Zhongli team, right? Everyone knows the Hu Tao, Jingcho, Yalan, Zhongli team, right?
Yes, that's the if you guys don't know, it was a vaporized team where you would apply water with Xingqiu, and then and he applied water so powerfully that Hu Tao would just continue fucking heavy attacking and procking the vaporize. I don't know if it was melt or vaporize. I think it was vaporize.
Right? That one is like, or was strong. That one was a team that you would use in Genshin Impact Spiral Abyss, and you typically be okay over 3-4 years of the game. Nowadays, if you run Hu Tao, Zhongli, Double Hydro, that team does not clearing anything. Yeah, that team in Genshin Impact is clearing.
Hey, Chad, I want you to know I'm not ignoring y'all. I'm really trying to lock in on what Saintontas is saying. You guys yap away, just be respectful. But if I'm not like reading you, it's because I'm trying to lock in on what he's saying.
Nothing. It is not clearing the Spiral Abyss. It is not clearing Stygian Onslaught. You can maybe play it in Imaginarium Theater if you get lucky and get the characters for it and the elements that are clearing. You run strong. That everyone knows the Hu Tao, Jingqiu, Yalan, Zhongli team.
Okay.
Right? That one is like, or was strong. That one was a team that you would use in Genshin Impact Spiral Abyss, and you typically be okay over 3-4 years of the game. Nowadays, if you run Hu Tao, Zhongli, Double Hydro, that team does not clearing anything. Yeah, that team in Genshin Impact is clearing nothing.
I can't say anything about that because I don't play Genshin Impact today. You guys could verify it. I'll take Saint at face value. I don't think he has a reason to lie.
It's not clearing the Spiral Abyss. It is not clearing Stygian Onslaught. You can maybe play it in Imaginarium Theater if you get lucky and get the characters for it and the elements that are usable for that.
Sure.
But chances are you won't. And the end result is that meta team from Genshin Impact, the 1.x, 2.x days, is not viable anymore because of HP inflation and power creep.
Yeah, but I would also say, let me think about that. I don't even know where he was going with that point, to be completely honest. But what I was thinking about is how good Dillik was, and then Hu Tao came out, and then everybody did the Toy Story meme. I don't want to play with you anymore. I was thinking about the original national team, right? And then Raiden Shogun came out and made that national team 8 billion times stronger. I was thinking about particular supports you would use on compositions, and then Kazuha came out. You know what I'm saying? It's always been in gacha games, in my opinion, there's always been some power creepy characters. But I think in Genshin Impact, power creep was fine because HP inflation never really existed in Genshin Impact for the longest. Power creep happened with better characters, but the Spiral Abyss remained relatively the same with some few exceptions, like those 3 Mangu Kiki douchebags.
I agree with that completely. Yeah, when that happens, that's not good.
And I think with this latest
I don't know where he was
TOA
going with that,
update
though.
and quote unquote expansion, if you will, has introduced a problematic power creep as well as an HP inflation.
So this is where I feel like the opinions might differ a little bit. And I've already
I love how he preferenced that.
seen the example team that Gacha Smack shows in the video.
Okay.
The key word in my definition of problematic power creep is that it has to be a meta team in the first place.
This is such good context. This is such good context. So he's explaining his definition of power creep is X meta teams, no longer meta teams. Okay. If I understood that correctly, Chad, I think that was a fair assessment before I speak for say. This is one thing about me when I react to content, I don't like speaking for people. I hate doing that shit because I know how easy it is to misinterpret their point of view.
And just skipping ahead a little bit, 112. This is the team that Gacha Smack uses over here. I don't consider this to be a meta team.
Now, this is one thing, and I don't know if Saint will be able to handle this criticism. I think he should be able to handle it, but it'd be cool. One thing that Saint handles well, one thing that Saint does well, he does very well. I'll give him, it's a hell of a gift he has as a creator. He loves framing things in a way that's going to make what you're doing look bad and what he's getting ready to present look better. He does this a lot. I don't know if it's intentional, but the Rover, Zani team is, I don't know how else to say this. Here's the problem with content creation as a whole. When I put together a video to put on the internet, I'm not trying to provide 30 examples to explain one solution or one problem. I don't need to like provide several examples. I provide one and hopefully you guys get the message. And if you don't, I'm like, well, damn, I don't know how you didn't get that. This is just one team that I used of many teams. I used Rochia and Camellia. I used, what was the other team I used? I used Augusta, of course, to as a metric to see how these teams compare against them. There was one more team. Oh, Xiong Liao. I'm sorry, Xiong Liao Yinlin. I used that team too. All of these other teams, to be completely honest with you, it was the same thing or worse, right? I'm the type of guy, I use the best case scenario. So I used a newer unit, Zani, to show her performance to represent older units and how they would perform. But and this is me being full-blown honest, Xiong Liao and Yinlin, and guys, go test it yourself right now. You go do it. Don't just take my word. Xiong Liao and Yinlin performed like dog water. Camellia and Rochia performed like dog water. And then the final team, which I already left my brain. It already left my fucking brain. So another team I used performed like dog water. Plus Rochia are a good team, but performance not good. Yeah, but this is my thing though. What I want people to understand here is these teams that I'm telling you about, they performed in 1 minute clear times at one point in the game. This is a fact. And they don't anymore. And that was my whole argument. I was like, nigga, this is power creep, bro. Like, this is HP inflation, power creep. Both of them combined is something, man,
I consider this to be like a barely scrapes by Zani team because she does have the unfortunate part of her kit. For her to be meta, Phoebe has to be on her team.
I think that's a fair take, but I think it's also it's bad to I guess shut down this example because this example actually rivals, if not better, than other examples. And I'll show that in a bit.
Yeah, Spectral Rover.
I'm actually happy I have a fucking showcase. I don't feel like going to do this shit.
I don't consider that to be a meta team. I consider this to be a budget team.
Let them cook, though. Let them cook. Let them cook, Chad.
And so that's where our definitions are going to kind of like stray away from each other. That's just my
Hey, Chad, I want to make sure we're perfectly clear. Saint is being very respectful. I do think his framing is a bit slick in how he's presenting things. I do think, and I have to be fair here because I'm defending myself, right? I don't pull any punches when I'm defending myself. I do think his framing is kind of dangerous. I do. It's a dangerous thing to deal with. And I don't know if Saint is aware of it, but like he does these things in a way where it makes you look stupid and it makes him look smarter.
Personal.
And that's why I'm right here, right now, reacting to this.
So we'll pick it up. We'll pick it up from here with some of that context in.
Now, we're not going to just talk out the ass here. I'm going to show you a composition in which I mastered.
Is Saint in chat right now? I believe he is.
And I spent a number of hours going up against these newer modes in comparison against the composition we all know this mode is designed for based off of how the buff functions.
So I think he's really leaning into some of like the shield nature of the buffs. We'll revisit that in a bit.
But there really are so many different facets and caveats to cover. It's not just one answer. And so
okay,
perform 16
actually able to use this buff at its max potential. The character,
which
again,
triggering it will reset its duration, right?
So there's only a couple characters in the game that are actually able to use this buff at its max. I can fully stack up this 16% damage buff from re-triggering shields to its max of 48% damage. Only those 4 characters can do it. Fully stacked characters are Augusta, Tao Chi, and John Shin.
Yeah, that's fair. And he's actually right now. He is. He's Zani, even though I did as best as I could to keep ults up, to keep shields on, he's absolutely correct. My Zani still wasn't getting the maximum efficacy of the buff because it only lasts for 6 seconds, and I can only keep the buff up, or I can only ult so many times. Now, Zani is a character, thankfully, that has 2 ults. One at the beginning, one at the end. But I wasn't getting maximum ult efficacy. He's absolutely right.
Of 48% damage. Only those 4 characters can do it.
And I'm not sure if that's even correct. I'm just gonna assume that Saint did his homework.
Brant is not able to because he applies a shield 1 time.
Right.
So this is a universal buff. If you ult with anybody, the shield will be applied so long as you don't get applied.
It up. And your liberation shield that you get from activating it only applies like from
it's a from the Spectral Rover to place onto Zani to charge her up so she can enter her ult. As you know,
Spectral Rover, Shorekeeper, is not a meta team, and it's never like been a meta team.
Sure,
as a lot of these teams that I'm showing you over here kind of like synergize perfectly with each other. Spectro, no meta teams.
Okay.
This team, right, is worse than this team.
Oh, whoa.
This team is worse.
Whoa. You got to back that up if you say that, Saint.
Bother with it right now.
You got to back that up if you say that.
Spectral Rover over here. This team is worse than 1.0 meta teams. This team, right, is worse
Saint,
than
brother.
this team.
Hey, Saint, listen, I'm not going to say you're wrong, but you have to back that up on the spot if you're going to make that claim.
This team is worse than this team.
Possibly. Now, that one, I'm more inclined that it's a possibility, but we do have to back that one up. We have to back these up. We can't just make these blanket statements with no actual proof.
1.0 meta teams are stronger than.
Okay, now, you know what, chat? I'm going to pause right here. This seems like the perfect time to bring up this little shit that I was getting ready to make today. Hold on, because that is crazy saying that. The reason it's crazy because I actually made a video where I was about to show how much stronger it was to represent power creep. It was to represent power creep. And I want to make sure Saint might be right, but dog, I just played Xiang Li Yao and Yinlin today, and dog, I'm just gonna skip ahead. We'll play the whole thing, brother. This was my result with this team against the fucking fallacy of no return. Bro, we failed the run. I just gave up. I said, nah, bro, this ain't it. Now I'm going to play it over again because I already know how people are when I put something like that in front of them. The first thing they do is they assume that I have a skill issue and it's not the team. They're like, oh, well, you're playing them wrong. Well, if I'm playing them wrong,
Then you get your best Xiang Liao Yinlin player, you know, and you show it, motherfucker, show it. Because let me tell you something. This team ain't like crazy. It ain't like the most wild tech. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty simple, man. You guys watch it. You let me know.
Loading. Tear them to pieces. Zap string. Crush them. You're not getting away.
Variable elimination. Verity. Confined within limits. Exploit. Pride.
Now, I will say, it's possible my build ain't the best. Like, it's possible that my build isn't the best, but there's only so much a build can do for a team before you just realize it fell off.
Heart. Loading. Astral modulation. Tear them to pieces. My field of expertise.
You have to deal with this garbage too in the fight. I'm gonna be honest. Now, if I can do, here's what I will say. If you get a stronger build, I think stronger build does equate to a little bit more shield time right here, right? It does equate, like, but what I'm trying to say is with a much more higher, like, I don't know, more crit damage, more attack, more damage bonus, you might actually be able to like stun his ass before he jumps up in the air, which would aid the time a lot. But what I'm trying to tell you is my Xiang Liao Yinlin comp, it's a pretty solid build. It's not crazy. It's a pretty solid build though. He's got his signature weapon. She doesn't have, now this is a big one. She doesn't have the fucking, her Sig, which is one of the best Sigs in the game. She has Jeje Sig, which is a massive amount of crit damage. It's like a stat stick. So, but I'll be honest, her Sig can't make up that much more performance on this team. That's what I will say. My Xiong Liao crits for 80K more than yours on Liberation. So Saint, and here's what I will say, brother. Saint, you can practice from dusk till dawn, getting your best run on that comp, show off the builds, and what would you get on Fallacy? What would you get on Fallacy? Like, you'd probably be within 10 to 15. I don't know. Based off of this shit, bro, like, nigga, I failed. Like, based off of this shit.
Ordained. Loading.
Like, brother, I just had to hang it up. I had to pack it up. And it wasn't no skill issue. You know what I'm saying? I just had to pack it up. Look at that shit, chat. I had to pack it up, brother. I say, yeah, nah, this ain't. Now, chat, I want y'all. I have Xiong Liao Sig. Yes, you know what? I'll show the fucking builds. I had Xiong Liao Sig, but chat, I want you to look at this fucking team. I want you to look at this team. And I want you to look at when it's, look at the fucking health and look at the time, first of all, before I even go further. This is a floor that gives Augusta no buffs. This gives Augusta no buffs. Now, I think we end up clearing at like 47.
You're testing output.
Hold up.
As you wish.
Conquest begins now. Pathetic struggle.
Okay, so we cleared at 347. 347. Hold on. I want to make sure we get full context here. Hold on, boys. Now I see how Saint yapped for fucking 2 hours, but we not doing this 2 hour shit, chat. I'm gonna be honest with you. Ain't no way in hell. We at 30-minute mark, and I'll give it another 45, and our point will be made. Okay, chat. This is the buff of that floor. This is the buff of that floor, chat. What heavy attack buff? Somebody said you get a heavy attack buff. The fuck are y'all waffling about? What heavy attack buff? Just getting a call, Unc. 9x. I am, if the shoe was on the other foot and I disagreed with Saint to the point where I felt I needed to react to his content, I would have hit his line and got in the call first. The reason me and Saint aren't in a call is because Saint's fathead farming ass didn't get in the call with me first. He decided to farm. Saint be farming. That's the problem with Saint. His ass be farming a little bit too much. So guess what, nigga? I'm right here farming right next to his ass. You know what I'm saying? Don't be getting on no damn internet farming my content and then, hey, let's get in the call. Nah, nigga, your ass had the chance to get in the call. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be you farming a little too close to the sun, my guy. And here's the funny thing. Saint ass know he be farming. He know it. Saint be over here arguing semantic arguments. Ladies and gentlemen, me and Gacha Smacker, we've gotten into a little bit of a spat here, and you know, we're gonna keep things professional. But you know, he said some things I don't agree with, and we'll see that this is the thing, right? This is the thing, right? Smack doesn't understand that if he says something I don't agree with, I will be there to react every time, Smack. Anyways, man, so don't chat. Listen, I got love for Saint. I do. I really do. I am only doing this right now because of his fat head ass be farming. I have to defend myself. You can't react to my content for 2 hours and expect me not to clap back. Y'all chat, who is the #1 clap back nigga on this planet, bro? You know, ain't nobody about to clap at my ass 2 hours and I'm not clapping back. Come on, man. Anyways, make me cough my ass off. Somebody told me that Augusta had a heavy attack bonus. I'm here to make sure that misinformation doesn't float over niggas' heads. There is no heavy attack bonus here, brother. All right, there's no heavy attack bonus here. Stop spreading misinformation. All right, that's a 3-minute and 47-second run versus I had to quit. Versus I had to quit. Now listen, let's do this. Let's do this, chat. Let's be completely fair. Let's say my build was ass. Let's say my build was ass, chat. How much further back should I give the best Yao Yinlin rotation? And how much further back should we give it? Are you telling me these niggas out damaging me like that? You know what I'm saying? Because I did 3 whole rotations. Bro still wasn't dead. Oh, yeah. Let me show my build. Yeah, you know, you're right. And Chad, this thing, I'm a man of show full context, brother. Don't you worry.
Understood.
All right, so we got this.
The experiment
Boom.
begins.
He was not rocking that, I promise you. I promise you he wasn't rocking that shit, bro. That shit funny as fuck. I swear to God, he wasn't rocking that. This is what he was rocking, though. This is what he was rocking. Caught for no, listen, bro. I think they might even show his weapon. Will they show his weapon? Yeah, look, nigga, you can see the weapon, bro. Don't play with me, Chad. I'll slap you, niggas. You can see that motherfucking Halo spaceship on his arm from here, bro. Don't play with me. You see that bitch way from over here, dog. Niggas out here trying to. Hey, don't be out here playing with me, Chad. Hold on, nigga. We about to get this evidence. Then I'm about to pull a Saintontas. Let's see the evidence. The evidence is right there, nigga. Shit. AI edit, man. Go fuck yourself. Hell nah, dog. All right. Anyways, bro, listen. My fucking. This is my Yao. Now, listen. I do want to say this. My Yao is not the craziest, but here's what I do want to give a little bit of a caveat here. Yao does more damage with the other fucking build. He does more damage with this right here. There's no doubt about it. He does. And the reason being is because that ult gets the full efficacy of this shit here. It gives a 40% damage bonus like up front, whereas this right here is a ramp up. You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure I'm fair here. So maybe this is mediocre and it declined the performance. But chat, I have to be honest with you. Nigga, I have to be honest with you. Chat, I'm at 2 minutes and 50 seconds on the leave right here, bro. Come on, it ain't that negligible. It ain't that negligible, bro. Look at his health. We not even close. So my question to you, Chad, is how far back do I give somebody with a proper set and proper damage? There's no way you give this nigga a whole 30 seconds. There's no way. I'll give him probably like 310, 312. I'll probably give him like 310, right? Bro, look at this. Now, I want to make sure we're clear here, chat. Hold on. I'm comparing two premium limited characters from 1.0, right? Xiong Liao and Yin Lin. This is his premium team, chat. Premium. Against Augusta with a fucking 4-star. Look at the difference here in performance. Watch one rotation's damage. Watch one singular rotation.
Astral modulation.
Fury boils. Feel my wrath. As you wish. Darn it.
I got hit right there too.
Leave me alone.
Fight by my side.
Compare the builds. Hey, the rotation ain't done with after this ult, chat. We still got the rotation still goes after this ult. That's the rotation.
Ordained. In war with time. Loading.
Fury boils. Inferno. Burn to ashes. Testing output. Burn.
This is my moment. Sing of my triumph.
Hold on. Somebody said, with all due respect, the proper set matters a lot. Can you use? No, I'm not going to use. How about you upload yo shit since you know so much into Discord? I'll watch it. I'll put that bitch in 4K HD for everyone to see. If you think that Xiong Liao is going to do some grandeur run, bitch, let's see it. Let's see it. And make sure you show the builds right after no edits. Show the builds right after no edits. Why you want me to do it? If my shit is ass, obviously I'm not the nigga that should be doing it. Y'all show it. Y'all show the build. Show the shit. Let's see it. Get your ass in there and fight fallacy. All that damn talking. That's the problem. Like, niggas be wanting you to prove everything. They don't prove shit, though. They just be out here yapping. Hey, man, listen, brother, I'll tell you this. I challenge all 1.3K of you niggas on YouTube and whoever the hell's on Twitch. Get up in there. We waiting. Get up in there and send it on over, baby. Well, I'll watch it. I'll see you in 45 minutes, all right? Now, hold on. I'm gonna skip ahead, all right? We don't need to see the whole fucking rotation, right? Like I said, that was 347, chat. Now, what's the difference with Yuno? Yuno, I don't have Yuno Sig. I used Xiong Liao Sig on the Yuno, okay? This was the completion, chat, with Yuno. Now, this is actually a more fair reference because this is two premiums versus two premiums, right? Xiong Liao and Yinlin versus Yuno in Augusta. This is two premiums versus two premiums. And we talking about there ain't no power creep. Chat, look at the time. Chat, look at the fucking time. And we talking about there ain't no power creep. On the floor with no buffs. No buffs are tailored to Augusta and Yuno.
My valor never fails.
That was 403, chat, against this motherfucker. 403. Let's watch the whole playthrough just in case.
Loading. On you go. Present your offerings. I engraft you new.
With style and grace. Taste my resolve. Face me. Causality overturned.
Is my moment. Perceptimon! Step tall before the eternal sun!
Chat, look at this nigga damage on one rotation. Look at this guy's health on one rotation. Now, it's not done yet. It's not done yet. Now it's about to be done. Bro, that was one rotation with the Uno comp, chat. Hold on. That was one rotation with the Uno comp. Brother man.
Loading. Astral modulation.
And this, I want to say one more time, is the floor with no advantages for Augusta. And you know, they don't get no advantages against fallacy. The advantage, the buff, the crazy buff is for the other two later floors.
I'll indulge you. On you go. The moon is
Anyways, we got fucking so far off topic here. Now let me show you the builds for that team before we continue on. The reason I went there is because we are talking about HP and inflation and power creep. This is my Augusta and the build that she's using. That's her investment right over here. That's my Augusta. 84-212. This is my no. That is no. Hell no.
Remain the anchor.
That's why my Yang Liao was not having his weapon equipped. This is my Uno right here. This is my Uno right here. This is her invest. Oh, by the way, bro, my Uno's not even fully built, man. I ran out of these shits. She missing some attack, 3 levels of ultimate, bro. This bitch missing she's actually missing quite a bit of investment. And 403 was the completion time on that run with it. Like, dog, all I'm saying, Chad, is to deny that there ain't no fucking power creep after. And you know what? Let's show off the Xiong Liao comp. One more time.
Begins.
No, nigga, he not rocking a level 1 Halo weapon. All right. He borrowing it from Uno, borrowing it from him. This was my Yao build. People are already making an excuse that the reason Yao is underperforming so hard is because I have on this set and not the other one. I acknowledge the other set is better, but how much better in time are we even talking here, right? So like, because let's just put it this way, if we take this on him, and my Yinlin's not fully invested either, by the way. This is my Yinlin build. It's similar. Actually, you know what? It's pretty fair because it's similar, a little bit more investment than my Uno. She's a little bit more invested than my Uno is. And the build she was using was, well, she was just borrowing the other Thunder set, right? And that's actually why my Yao's on the lingering set, because was using the Thundering set, which you can put like a moonlit on her if you wanted to, right? But my point here is, you take these teams, these are old teams, and you compare them against the new team, and they get fucking dog walked. Chat, am I fucking crazy for saying this? Like, what other way do you want me to show this off? There's no other way for me to show that off, bro. Like, dead ass, it's the old DPS Electro versus the new DPS Electro. Now, let's get this. Chat. If that is not enough example for you, I need y'all to answer this for me because I don't have Gian. Gian would be the old 1.0 DPS, right? Gian, Mortefi, and Shorekeeper versus Cartethia, Shakona, and who the fuck's the third person on that team? Arrow Rover. Who else is gonna be better? You see what I'm saying? Cart's gonna clear. It's like, nigga, Saint sent me his video. Okay, my bad. I'm locked in. Hold on. Oh, okay. Saint sent me the video. Hold on. Let's watch it. Why am I hearing battle going off already? Now, hold on. Oh, he's recording while listening to me yap. That's fucking hilarious. I'm gonna skip ahead. Hold on, let me mute this. He's like recording while listening to me yap. Bro was really locked in. Okay, hold on. Let's just skip ahead. Hold on. Okay, so he actually got a pretty impressive run. I'll be honest. Hold on. That was okay. So I'll be honest. I stand corrected. He got a way better time than I thought.
me go back. Hold on. 3 fucking bitch. 329. We'll say 330. We'll say 330. So 330, which is way better time than my shit. I want to see the build. Oh, fuck. Okay, hold on. Now I'm going to be honest. If we're going to highlight it in a perfect representation, right? It's still a whopping, and I'm just being fair here, guys. It's still a whopping, bro. And I do mean a fucking whopping. Where the hell is this shit at? Yeah, here we go. Bitch, hurry up. 4:03. I think that was the clear time, right? Yeah, it's still a whopping 4:03, 34 seconds off. Let me go back here, though. Fuck, where was it at? 82 over 304 versus mine. How the fuck is that even possible, bro? How is bro? No, okay. You know what? It must have. No. Chat. It's probably he probably went right outside of the tower, and it included the shorekeeper buffs. That's probably what it was. I think he might have went right out. Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Okay. Yeah, no, it's right here. It's right here. He went right outside the tower. So shorekeeper's buffs are included. We'll take a look at it real quick. Hold on. Yeah, but see, I wouldn't even say, chat, that this set is why he did that. He just straight up no-diffed my stats. Oh, hold on. Let me see this too. Hold on. How perfect is this fucking build? Crit damage, crit rate, attack percent, energy regen, flat attack. That is damn near a perfect piece. Okay. That's a damn near perfect piece. Wait, damn, did I go back? Okay, hold on, man. I'm sorry. I'm trying to make sure we look at all of this. Crit rate, crit damage. Okay, that one's ass. That one's it's not ass, but it ain't anything crazy. Crit rate, crit damage, resonance lib, energy. That's a fucking banger. Okay, 4 out of 5. The first one was only 2 out of 5. 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5 again. Damn, bro, that's a solid 4 out of 5. That damn near 5 out of 5. Like 4.5. 4.5. 4.5 again. Okay. And then 4.5 again. What the fuck, bro? That's insane. Okay, so that's fine. So 4.5 rolls on pretty much like, and then just 1, 2. 1, 2. Now here's the thing I want to look at now. What is my Augusta? What is my Augusta?
Where my blade
DPS pound for pound. What is her shit looking like?
follows.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. 3 out of 5. I no-diffed his 4 costs. 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 5. Hey, hold up, boys. I'm out here. So we're bar for bar. I'm actually up 1. I'm up 1 on Saints Xiang Liao. 1, 2, okay, 3.5. 3.5 to his 4.5. Now we're even. Now we're like even, right? We're completely even right now. 1, 2, 3, 4.5. Hey, I'm out here. We're even again. You didn't crit damage ER. Wait, what? It's fine. It's fine. 4.5 again. A 4.5 again. Okay, final one. Me and Saint are tied in investment. I haven't looked at the stats one by one, but we're tied in investment in terms of nailing the stats we want. Final one. Who wins? Oof. Okay, I lost. Crit rate, crit damage, no attack percent. I was 2.5 right here. He was 4.5. So his Xiang Liao is better investment than mine. His was 4.5s, I think. And mine's was 3 4.5s, a 2.5, and a what was this up here? A 3? Yeah. So he beat me out. But hey, I'll be honest. Pretty fair, all things considered. A little edge like towards his Xiang Liao. Maybe we add 5 more seconds, 7 more seconds onto the Augusta run, and we're coming at about a 40-second discrepancy in performance versus the new age electro comp versus the old age electro comp. So chat,
I asked you again, and I want to be fair here. Is this not the mere definition of power creep? Is this not the definition of power creep? There's no buff that aids either team. There's like a tiny little buff that aids both teams. Let me show you. Hold up. There's a tiny little buff. Let me show you the little tiny buff real quick. There's a tiny little buff, and it's just a little old deals arrow damage buff. Let me show it to you because I want to make sure you got the full context. Hold on. Here you go. This is the little buff. Casting Resonance Lib causes a blast that deals arrow damage equal to the caster's HP. But that's like, you could give that to both of them. Augusta gets to use it because she has 2 ults. So she gets a little edge from this little baby buff here. But I mean, hell, you know what I'm saying? The guy, I don't know how, I don't even know how to calculate that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think it's that fucking crazy. It's power creep, guys. Okay. And not only is it power creep, it's power creep plus HP inflation because the older teams have slowed down in their performance. That Yao, that fucking dirty Yao that Saint just sent us, clearly back in the gap, that was a 50-second clear. We know this. We were like, damn, this nigga's just obliterating. It slowed down, man. And that was my whole point. But like, you know, what are we at? We're at 51 minutes. Okay. All right. So I said I wasn't gonna go for 2 hours. I'm gonna give this 20 more minutes. Here's Saint out and hear what he has to say. And in 20 minutes time, we're moving on, boys.
And so
not everyone's gonna have a Xiong Liao like that, though, right? That's my entire point. These are like peak of the peak builds and performance. You know what I mean?
the kind of like experiment that Gacha Smack is doing, right, is he's taking a team that, and again, this is my opinion, but I feel like most people will agree with it. Gacha Smack is doing the experimentation, I think, with a team that, yes, could clear content before, especially content like the side towers, but it is just not even as strong as baseline meta teams from version 1.0, 1.1, 1.2.
I'm gonna be respectful here. I'm gonna disagree. I think Saint is talking out his ass right here, though. I don't know if Saint's ever actually locked in on the Zani Spectro comp with a cracked build. That shit can bust ass, and I know it can because it cleared that fucking tower with 10 seconds to spare in comparison to other teams
Of the game. And this is the thing, right? He's doing some giga sweaty rotations over here. We'll take a look at it, and then we'll maybe do some of our own comparisons ourselves.
And if you're somebody who goes, well, you don't have peep, okay, you're only feeding in to how power creep is problematic. I hope you understand that, because you should not have to pull on.
My take is that using a Zani without a Phoebe is like using a Jinsei in hypercarry without coordinated attacks.
What I would like to say to that is we can't just sweep under the rug that Kudo now designs characters that force you to pull on other characters in order for their optimization to be fully realized and actualized. Where did that come from, Chad? I wonder. Where did that come from? That came from Hoyo. That's a page straight out of Hoyo's book.
It's
annoying. Now, I want to be fair. They do it a bit better than Hoyo, but I think that's one of the most frustrating things about Kudo players. Guys, now I got a full screen on this one. If all I'm comparing my content to is the fucking devil, I am always going to look good because my reference is the devil. I don't got to do much to look good when you're comparing me to Satan himself. And that's how I look at Hoyo. It's like Satan himself, bro. It's like, so like when we sit here and every single thing we reference is always only referencing Hoyo as the only benchmark. Hoyo's the fucking devil, bro. So like you're doing better than Hoyo in terms of like looking out for your players.
That ain't saying much to me. It's not saying much to me. Now, if you're doing better than games where like they have actually tweaked the percentages of you acquiring 5-star characters, guys, let me show you how petty these motherfuckers here at Kudo Games is, bro. Okay, and because I want to make sure we're on the same page here. Here we go. This is, and y'all have heard me talk about this before. They could have chose any price points under the sun. They chose the exact same price points and the exact same supplement metric of fake currency to provide to their players that Hoyoverse did, right? This is what we call competitive pricing. It is a brilliant business move. I'll give you that. It's a brilliant business move. But when we look at their when we look at what they could have done, if you didn't just compare it to Hoyo, then and you look at other gacha games, you're gonna go, okay, yeah, that they didn't even have to do that. They could have reduced the prices. They could have completely said you don't even need to pull on the weapon banners anymore. You could just pull on the characters, get the weapon too, and then people start arguing for the company. Well, how would they make money? People are still going to pull, bro. They might even pull more. How do you know people aren't going to pull more? And thirdly, why are we arguing for gacha companies? Why the fuck are you sitting there arguing for a gacha company, man? It just doesn't make sense to me. We got League of Legends that only sells skins and is one of the most profitable business models in all of the world. So like we can't sit here and say, how are they going to make money when you have League of Legends, Riot making $1 billion off of fucking cosmetics for the longest? It's not really ideal to make that argument, but I got off topic a little bit. I wanted to go to, here we go. Okay, the average drop rate is 1.8%. You're guaranteed to obtain at least one 5-star resonator every 80 convenes. Am I looking at the right thing? I am looking at the right thing. The Hoyo model is, and correct me if I'm wrong, chat, I would love for y'all to fact check me because I don't want to spread misinformation. Isn't it 1.6 or 1.7? Isn't it like 1.6 or 1.7? Can somebody log in to Genshin Impact and show this exact thing? Can somebody show the like just like screenshot this? That would be very helpful if you logged into Genshin, just to make sure I'm not spreading misinformation. It's 0.6. Okay, so then it's 2 decibels less than this right here then. Correct, chat? So it's 2 decibels less than this right here. Is that correct? It's 0.6. Yeah, okay. So it's 0.6, which means this shit here should state in Genshin Impact 1.6. Do you know what a game like Reverse 1999's is? I'm going to log in. I'll just show it to you guys. Give me a second, chat. I want to make sure we get this like abundantly fucking clear. Especially when you go hard pity. Yeah. I thought we were talking about power creep. We are talking about power creep, but we're also talking about how Kudo players love to only compare to Hoyo, the devil, and then say, see, it's fine here. And I'm like, okay, we'll take other games and then you'll understand. Nikkei, it's 2% flat for its gacha. Exactly. So like more than double the pity. More than double the pity in Nikkei. Right? And here's what my point here is, chat. If Hoyo is the worst with all the things they do and Kudo only does a little bit better than them, what does that make Kudo? With the exception of 100% guaranteed weapon banner, which, by the way, I still think weapon banner is a scam because it shouldn't be detached from the character as a secondary option anyway. It's like, brother, what? How do they not have their weapon? Well, it's just good for business. Okay, details. Rate details. The drop rate in fucking hell. Man, chat, hold on, bro. Smack moment, bro. I'm gonna have to screenshot this shit and put it on. It's 1.5%, chat. It's 1.5% in Reverse 1999.
You can go and look it up. Right? And so if we use reverse 1999, which is a 1.5% right here, it's not over here. It's 1.5 right here. Then this is now no longer a good representation of a free-to-play model. Now, is it, chat? Wizardry has 5%. I don't know. All I'm saying is you can reference more than just Hoyoverse as a means to see the flaws of their business model, and you'll be like, okay, yeah, they're not that generous. They're not that generous. That's just a fair thing to say. It's not a bit like Kudo players like, oh my god, it's so much better, brother. They're better than Hoyo. That's about it. Wizardry has the most expensive shop. Yeah. All right, let's go back over here and hover over a little bit more.
You will charge up Jinsey's Forte circuit. You will.
What did he say at the end? I wonder,
it's
man.
like ridiculous.
I feel like we can stay here all day.
I have such a high room for error in my runs. I'm also Liberation. And this is an S.
So he's using Carlotta. I wonder why he's using Carlotta.
Because it's interacting with the shield buff.
Boys, we've approached an hour. 10 minutes left.
Right? And this is I'm literally going to be playing one of my own videos, but there's a reason for it. I have this video over here called "Tao Chi Breaks the New TOA."
I'm really trying to push that new non-gacha advertising itself as a gacha game. I've always pushed for that. I would love if the gacha space and every gacha game inside of it got obliterated. I would love if I got put out of my job because the gacha space got cooked. You're absolutely right. I am pushing that non-gacha business model. This shit is garbage. Brother man, how much money have spenders spent on this game? $800? I spent $800 on this fucking game. Why am I facing power creep when I've given you niggas $800? That's more money than I've ever gave some of my greatest games of all time. How much money has Saint spent on this game? Probably 3,000, probably 4,000 or 5,000. Why the fuck is my money being shit on 1 year later into the game? It's just like, I understand that live service business models are like constantly updating their games, but brother, let's not act like Kudo Games has updated their game to justify $800,000, $5,000, $3,000 of money spent, and what you're getting back equates to that. Absolutely not. Not when you measure every single game that's ever released and the price and the profit they've made.
Ladies and what I use is a 2.0 unit.
I wanted to go back to that. What was he using?
Carlotta?
Clear, but always a very slow ramp.
Point that well.
Hold up.
Not HP inflation on the mobs themselves. There's just more mobs.
He was on Carlotta. Here we go.
I mean, if we have critical damage,
okay,
we're done. We're done. It's cleared. We might have to reset once or twice to just make sure the final shot of Liberation crits every time.
Chat, I'm willing to answer any of y'all's questions about a lot of this stuff, honestly, but I want to get through.
But we'd be at close to 80% crit. That's a pretty reliable way to do things for an attack that deals that much damage. Right?
Why does he have Carlotta on the team?
This should be closer to maybe like 370k, if not higher, if we had been on crit damage, but we weren't.
This is why I don't like skipping
ahead.
That's
the thing, right?
But I just don't want to watch fucking 2 hours.
Carlotta is this character that's not benefiting at all from the 30% attack buff.
I think I see where he's going with this. I think he chose Carlotta as an example, as a older DPS, I guess, to go against my older DPS argument. But the thing is, I never specified Carlotta.
30% heavy attack damage bonus, right? This isn't even like us using like a Zodi or like a Gion.
Like, if that is the case, Saint, brother, you chose the worst like character for my older units that I didn't specify, by the way. The motherfucker that's this cracked, like Carlotta's
work
cracked,
around it and
man.
still gain some benefit. She literally is not gaining a damage bonus over here.
The
right?
boss shredder.
She is basically just only using the general stuff. But because we were able to leverage this,
we're gonna go back and get full context. So I'm trying to hear
Our rotation is big.
with maximum skill, you can clear this floor. But with maximum skill, you're not comfortably clearing the floor. And then on the other end of the spectrum, with Augusta, who this is designed for, without her her Yuno, I am clearing this shit first try, brain dead mode.
That's because the buff is incredibly shielded, right? The buff is incredibly shielded, and you can, without a doubt, with a decent Augusta build, clear it very easily. That is a fact. That is true, right?
I do want to bring something up though. Going back to this just reminded me. Saint did comfortably clear with Xiong Liao this floor up here with no buffs aided for Xiong Liao. This floor up here, he did comfortably clear it. 30 seconds remaining on the clock. That's a comfortable clear. But my thing is, everybody's been saying that there's no power creep, no HP inflation. And so there's like two different arguments we're making here now. Comfortably clearing with older units and the fact that power creep and HP inflation does in fact exist. But he did 100% prove me wrong by comfortably clearing this floor with Xiong Liao. However, I'd love to see what that Xiong Liao comp would look like on floor 4. I guarantee it'd be a whole different outcome.
But you want to know another team that clears this brain dead easy?
Here's the context.
Because it's interacting with the shield buff. I've got just the showcase for you, right? And this is I'm literally going to be playing one of my own videos. But
it's a video about how Tao Chi and Farina with Carlotta could clear if you use her SIG and or is good crit
there's a reason
ratio.
for it. I have this video over here called Tao Chi breaks the new TOA.
Okay.
Ladies and
what
I use is a 2.0 unit, right? S0R1. 2.0 unit S0R1 with a level 40 Tao Chi. And because I'm using Tao Chi, who can abuse the buff, right? You'll see over here how much an S0R1 Carlotta is hitting the enemy for.
This comp was brought to my attention by the community when I uploaded my HP inflation comp. So I guess it got around to Saint and he ended up testing it out.
Isn't it? Oh, that's really damn good.
I agree with many of your perspectives in the past, but your recent takes have really been cooked, bro. Maybe you're doing it for entertainment, but your arguments can easily be solved. If you don't want to spin on a gacha game, don't. I have a free-to-play account that proves it can be done. So your arguments are not relatable, or you didn't specify any argument of mine at all. You just went on a tangent. I can't do anything with that.
And you can see over here, our rotation is barely slower than a Jeja. So that first hit did 230k because we're maxing out that buff. That's 230k. Team doing this.
Okay, where are we going with this?
Just wanted to show that with a level goddamn 40 Tao Chi, you're able to get some crazy results.
Yeah, but that Tao Chi is not why you're doing that damage. It's Carlotta. Tao Chi's shield with utilizing the buff is genius, sure, but let's come on now. That's fucking Carlotta, brother.
And this is also
you can take that Tao Chi off the team, and Carlotta with a Jeja is still going to obliterate that fucking floor right there, bro. That's just Carlotta. She's just strong as shit.
The other thing, we even did it with the standard weapon. And these were our stats with the standard weapon. A 95.6% crit rate, which, if you know about crit ratios in this game, that's too much. That means that
that is 100% true.
We were using a crit rate.
Yeah, his Carlotta build is kind of cooked, to be completely fair.
Forecast with a crit rate weapon. If we had instead used a crit damage one, we'd be closer to, like, let's just be honest here, 77%, 78%, and have literally 270% critical damage.
I think I get where he's going with this now. I think he's completely fair. What the point he's basically trying to make is he's put a shit Carlotta with a level 40 Tao Chi and got an impressive run. You know what's funny? I never disagreed with Carlotta performing though, right? Like the Carlotta is not an example of what I was referencing with older units. Carlotta's the one exception. No, none of that. She's 2.0. I was talking about Camellia, Jian, Xiong Liao, Yinlin, and whoever the fuck else is in 1.0. I wasn't talking about Carlotta.
And so
I never even said her name.
This is how close we get with a crit ratio that's awful. I mean, if we have critical damage, we make sure closer to benefiting at all benefit this shielded effect. Honest here, right? I make so many mistakes in my run that clears. It's like ridiculous.
Okay, where
Like
we
I
going
have
with
such
this,
a over half of our liberation killing 1 or 2 guys. The buff is a count. The fact they how much damage with you're using on 40 floors sectors is not good at.
Little tangent. Bear on the clock. I did not lock in with Augusta on this, and if I do, I'll have no question. I'll have 1 minute to spare on the clock. I might even have more than that if I lock in.
I agree with that. Yeah, Augusta, when played well with the buff, you're locked in. You should clear with about a whole minute left.
I was locked the fuck in on the Zani comp. I even Roachia and Shorekeeper, and this comp didn't have enough skill expression due to Camellia's spin. Where I'm going with this is
He didn't use the Camellia team because it didn't have enough skill expression with the spin. I guess I find this to be a really difficult argument for me to like get fully geared along with, right? Is that we have kind of like the perfect example of like a meta 1.0 team, Camellia, Sanhua, Shorekeeper, right? To experiment with, to do comparisons, right? And it's like with the Zani Rover team, Zani's a character that released in 2.3.
right.
Right? It's like, it's odd to think that power creep exists because we used a character from 2.3 in a very suboptimal team. And then
Very suboptimal team is wild when I'm just using her with a 4-star, the only 4-star option she has.
didn't use a 1.0 team.
So I guess let me just clarify that. Once again, I think I already went over this, but the reason I'm using Zani is to drive the point home further. If Zani is struggling, then what are the 1.0 teams going to be performing like? Right?
With like all 1.0 characters to run the comparison.
Has Saint used any of these 1.0 comps? Does he have a video where he uses the 1.0 comps against the Dragon of Dirge and Lampy Lumen? I would love to see that.
It's just, I can't, I wonder why he didn't use like a Zhang Liao Yinlin or like a Jian.
Shit. Second, I saw somebody link something.
Does it? And let me explain why. We'll be doing live commentary.
Damn,
of
y'all
this
found
run.
that
It's not
fast.
going to be as good as if I'm just
Y'all
like,
found that
focusing.
shit fast as
I'll
fuck.
show you exactly what I'm talking about over here. Don't pay too much of an attention to the time though. The Dragon of Dirge
Unfortunately, this seems like I don't want to misrepresent Saint. It seems like he's not trying to lock in.
is quite possibly one of the bosses in the game that's like just the most annoying with its moveset. Because it has this really amazing ability to jump around the arena and go pretty much anywhere it wants in almost no time at all.
Yeah, that would. I will say with what he's saying right there though, that would only aid to what I'm talking about. That's like a 1.0 character issue. Augusta gonna freeze clock. You can't move. Bitch, sit your ass still. You ain't moving.
It also like has a fucked up hitbox or something where attacks can sometimes just like leave you on like the opposite side of it.
He's doing some pretty solid damage to be fair.
Right? And so you saw that over here, right? We're looking pretty good. Not too bad. We get the break off. Life's all right. We're moving on to the next rotation. It's not looking too bad, right?
I feel like he's doing pretty good while talking and playing. Impressive. I can't do that shit.
We're making sure to go to Gian every once in a while to use a skill. We're not using it too often, right? I gotta wait until that shit is about 2 charges, and now I can use another one, right? The time actually the biggest issue in this fight. And you know what? We'll just do this. We'll just do a double intro real fast.
Swap back, Saint. Get him. Get him, bro. Get him. Swap back, brother.
All right, perfect. That's just an example of how this guy can be an asshole. Now you got this guy, and he is the supreme asshole.
Okay.
This is actually, I know I'm doing this live, but this is actually the best time I've gotten on the run so far. So if we're going to clear here,
Wait.
gotten on the run.
Hold on. That was
This
important.
is actually, I know I'm doing this live, but this is actually the best time I've gotten on the run so far.
Wait, well then okay, so hold on. So then we can use this as a metric of Gion's performance. He said this is the best time he's gotten. He said he's actually performing good.
So if we're going to clear here, it's going to be from this. Yeah, I guess I play better when I'm talking.
So okay, hold on. Before I even go any further, it seems like this is a perfect representation of what I'm talking about. Gion's struggling in clearing that because Gion's design, his liberation is supposed to take damage. Otherwise, he loses out on liberation, so the shield disappears and he doesn't get buffed. Just a bit unlucky on the tower buff as well. I think those are fair caveats, but I still think it's a 1.0 character issue. I really do.
Anyways.
My whole point, chat, once again, is the 1.0 characters got to play 80 billion times harder and try 80 billion times harder just to get shit results. And the newer characters are just like, how about I pop a cold one, brother, while you just do your thing? And I'll outperform the living shit out of your these old 1.0 characters. That was my entire argument. You got to sweat it. Yeah, you got to sweat it, and still you get mid results.
The problem with the Lampilumen Myriad is it has this tendency.
That was my biggest point in that video was I sweat my dick off. I did the best I could, and I got mid results. Meanwhile, and this is the perfect other side of the spectrum. I used Augusta, closed my fucking eyes, and got a faster clear time.
To use this teleport attack, where it teleports to the opposite side of the arena and does that, it becomes invulnerable.
Oh, no. It gets worse than that. There's some runs you do against this fucking dipshit, and he's just floating in the air, and you can't attack him. No, he absolutely is diabolical. Like, there was so many runs I had to restart because this fucking idiot was just floating in the air. I'm like, bro. And it's a glitch. You can't even hit the motherfucker. I'm just like, bro. And then my run failed.
Essentially,
it happened a lot to me when I was playing with Zani.
For like your entire rotation. And so if you're a team, right, that can either like in this game, just
we're already going past what I said we were gonna do.
Like this, where their main damage type. When I literally situation where I wasn't hitting was, of course.
Oh fuck, bro. He pulled the glasses up, dog. I wasn't ready for that shit. I was trying to skip ahead just to get the final context. Or I don't want to go the whole 2 hours, bro. This nigga did the glasses pull up as soon as I skipped ahead, dog.
When I literally situation where I wasn't hitting was, of course.
Oh fuck.
When I literally got like 10 seconds deducted from my run and missed every single enhanced intro because the guy's fucking body blocked.
I can't watch the rest of this, man. Fucking
what
hell.
It looks like when,
it's
the
too
bad
much,
shit
man.
Doesn't happen. Yeah.
Wait. Oh wait, hold on. Where's the fucking video? Where's the video in?
Oh wait,
bro. Chad, I'm looking at the wrong shit. Unc Smack thought he was on the Twitch video again. Oh my God. I was trying to skip over here.
Zadi,
I just want y'all to know, I skipped a lot of fucking of this. There could be more moments where Saint's saying some shit that doesn't represent me well. I'm over it, man. I'm gonna be honest. There could be some moments where Saints represent me well. I don't know. I think at the end of the day, I want all React streamers to learn this, and we're gonna look at just a little tad bit more and get the fuck out of here. It's very simple, man. Anytime you have a different point of view of somebody, especially if you guys are acquainted, man. Me and Saint are fucking acquainted now. I've already told him I'll go on his podcast this weekend. We can talk about all this shit. If you have a disagreement with my point of view, there is no need for you to react to my content and hypothesize, theorize, and assume things about the points I'm trying to make when you can quite literally hop me in the call and say, hey, Smack, so let's just talk about some of the things here. Me and you are not seeing eye to eye on this. what's going on. You know what I'm saying? What I just did right now, Saint, with respect, brother, I love you. You do this shit all the goddamn time to people. And it's like, it's so easy because you're not here to defend yourself, right? There could be some things I have already done in this fucking Yap Fest where it makes you look bad. And if you were here with your intelligence, which you are an intelligent individual, you would be able to say, wait, hold up. This is my response to that. This is what I would say to that, right? But I think your problem, I would say, and this is me being completely fair, I hope you accept this criticism. You go on reactions a lot of the times with the idea or thought process to, I'm going to debate this guy that I disagree with instead of trying to understand common ground. Now, you've gotten better over the fucking months. You have improved 100%. But there's still those moments where you go into a react and you start doing the Saint thing, right? Like, oh, well, let's see, this is the thing, right? You know, this is the thing. You gotta try to find common ground and stop trying to debate every single point that doesn't align with yours. That's what I would say. It's very easy for a content creator to feel defensive because you are, in fact, shitting on their lawn when you're offering these points and perspectives just to prove them wrong and say, yeah, no, I just don't agree. When all that shit can just be handled in a call. The only reason I went live to do this, because your farming ass went live and reacted to my video and you're uploading it to your YouTube channel, right? I am always 100% down to hop on a call for any points and talk it out verbatim, respond back immediately so that there's a more wholehearted discussion on things versus me waking up, getting some DM from somebody saying Saint spent 2 hours reacting to your content and started, he's making bad faith arguments on some of the things you said. It's being distant, all this, like, I don't want, it's literally annoying dealing with that shit because I've spent the better part of the last, I would say, several months telling people to fuck off about me trying to come after you, telling people to say it's not that bad of a guy. Even your like, you've made some enemies. I know the enemies you've made, and I still try my best to ensure that I'm getting along with everyone. But at the end of the day, man, the react for farming, when you know you could just talk to me and I'm gonna let you know, it gets a bit tiresome. In the last react, when I did my Zani showcase, that ended up being, I'm gonna be honest, I think it's probably, based off what I've been testing, it is actually the better rotation. Your framing presented it like it was the bad rotation. And that's something that just does a disservice to the creator. That's what I want to say there. But I'm going to look at the last bit of this stream, and then we're going to fucking finally move on to the story here, man.
Degree. But damage-wise, I don't really share that opinion because I don't feel like the damage is much of a concern for me.
We need debate, no hate. That would make community better. Yeah, well, this is my thing, right? Like, there's a lot of stuff. This is my thing. There's a lot of stuff that Saint says that I don't agree with, right? But you don't see me immediately hopping on the internet and going, all right, ladies and gentlemen, Saint has said something that's a bit of a hot take. Now, we're going to be fair here. We're going to, tap into this. But Saint is the minute he don't agree with a video, he farming that shit. You know what I'm saying? Here's the thing.
Try 1.0 DPS is in the third floor.
And it comes off as if Saint's just trying to respin that video he disagrees with an opinion that comes off as his is better and yours is worse. But he's gotten better. He does it in a more respectful manner these days.
All right. We'll do one demo run. Let me go see who wrote that chat. All right. So.
Wait, what's this?
If I get a good time with the Gian team, I'm going to permanently ban you, okay? That's going to be the deal.
Okay, I did not mean to skip to this part. I don't even know what this is.
It makes them feel bad from that degree. But damage-wise, I don't really share that opinion because I don't feel like the damage is much of a concern for me. It is try 1.0 DPS is in the third floor. All right, we'll do one demo run. Let me go see who wrote that chat. All right.
So he said try 1.0 DPS is in the third floor.
So If I get a good time with the Gian team, I'm going to permanently ban you, okay?
Okay, so
I
one more
don't really
time.
share that opinion because I don't feel like the damage is much of a concern for me. It is try 1.0 degree. Like, the fact that some of the enemies don't interact well at all with the older unit kits.
Yeah.
And it makes them feel bad from that degree. But damage-wise, I don't really share that opinion because I don't feel like the damage is much of a concern for me.
Well, I will say, I think what he's saying is completely fair. But what I will say is, it was already shown earlier that Augusta got a whole ass 35 or 40-second discrepancy if you consider even builds from the Xiong Liao team against the first floor.
Is try 1.0 DPSs in the third.
But I will say, he did prove me on that first floor at least that he comfortably cleared with his Xiong Liao. Now that shit, his Xiong Liao was decked the fuck out, but he did prove me wrong.
All right, we'll do one demo run. Let me go see who wrote that chat. All right.
Okay,
this will
so
be
let's
the
see
final
this.
bonus of the day. Today, bro.
So he did a Gian run. Fuck, we didn't even have to watch that video earlier.
was using
Fucking
the
hell.
Do it. Barrel bugged like is like oh this
Hey man, them restarts be like that
try
sometimes.
being a little bit there.
What did he get?
He said 15 seconds left, and yeah, we missed an intro skill,
14
and that's
seconds until failing the 3-star.
15 plus seconds left.
I wouldn't say that's a good time. I'm to be honest.
I literally missed my intro skill on Gian in that
Okay.
clear and extended it by like 7 more seconds.
7 seconds from a single intro. I don't know about that one, Saint. That's a lot. That's a lot of time you giving yourself for an intro. I say maybe 2 seconds.
To get the energy that my intro skill
Oh, to get the energy. If it's a difference between ulting earlier and not, then sure, I can say 7 seconds.
should have given me, but it missed. And so that is actually like 5 seconds faster.
Okay, so 20 seconds from failing. Once again, if you look at a Uno Augusta comp, brother, a Uno Augusta comp is 1 minute and 10 seconds away from failing. 1 minute and 10 seconds away from failing versus 20 seconds away from. It's not even close. It does like, and people be like, oh, but it's the buff. It's like, no, the buff is universal. It's just not as universal. But like that was my whole entire point.
So it's actually like 20 seconds above the time with she's at full concerto off meta budget team that everyone
Okay, this is the end.
recognizes
Thank
is
God.
not like up to snuff with other meta teams. Literally, this team is worse, right? This team is worse than Gian Mortefi, Shorekeeper, right? It's worse than Zhang Liao. It's worse than all these other.
Okay, if he's still talking about the Zani Spectro team, I think that is complete. You gotta back that up, bro. That's complete cap. Until you back it up, you can't just make that blanket statement and not prove it. And this is the thing, you gotta know how to play every single one of those teams and play them to the best capabilities, and then have your answer. There's no way Saint has done that. He proved it with Gian just now. Altair. Name another person in the entirety of the Wuwa community who plays Gian more than Saint. Gian is Saint's literal dog. Saint has more hours on Gian than I have in Monster Hunter World, bro. That is his best comp, my guy. Like, that is his absolute best comp.
Other lineups, right? And
I want to be clear. That wasn't the 4th floor. That was the 3rd floor. The 4th floor is the real beast. That 4th floor is the real beast, my guy. Which what we saw earlier was Saint failing with Gian, whereas I got 14 seconds away with Zani, something like that.
It's like I feel like that's where the take that older units aren't doing as well. I feel like it doesn't make that much sense if we're not going to show gameplay of the older units.
Now, see, this is why I wanted to go to this end. See, the end, you usually get like a little bit of context that like finishes off what somebody's entire point of view was.
This team is worse, right? This team is worse than Gian Mortefi, Shorekeeper, right? It's
Okay.
worse than Zhang Liao. It's worse than all these other lineups, right?
Okay.
And it's like, I feel like that's where the take that older units aren't doing as well. I feel like it doesn't make that much sense if we're not going to show gameplay of the older units.
Okay, well, we showed gameplay of the older units using Saint's fucking run, which his decked out Xiong Liao. We showed that shit, and it was 3 minutes and 30 seconds. And my run was 4 minutes and 3 seconds. So I would say we already nipped that one in the butt. Moment cleared fallacy in 423. I don't even know who Mormon is, bro. Yeah, but he's talking about your video. I don't think you understand the context, because the context is he's saying it's not fair for me to say 1.0 units aren't performing as well as the newer units. And he's like, you can't use that. You can't say that when you're using Zani. But then we just got context right now where he's using a old 1.0 team and I'm using a newer team, and it got no diffed like quite easily with a little bit less investment in the Augusta versus the wheel driver of the Yao team. Guys, we cannot just gloss over 35 seconds in difference when he has the better build on the Yao. That is a blatant power creep. We've already established that's a blatant power creep, bro. We get rid of this. I think we're done with the video, though. Finally, it was an hour and a half. You should know who Morma is, though. He's one of the best players in the game. Being the best player in Wuwa means nothing to me, brother. That might be a value of yours, and I respect that. I don't give a fuck how good you are at a game where you could just put SIGs on characters and make them stronger.
Because that's what gameplay with the older units looks like.
Oh, hell no, Saint. No. That run did not represent the argument, brother.
I think they're strong points, but I think it's not the great evidence, not the great arguments to reinforce them. And
I don't know about that. I would disagree with that respectfully. Maybe not great arguments to you. I wish I had the time to look at full context here, but I fucking don't, boys. I think I'm over
fortunately, it is leading to some people who, simply aren't educated about the game to be saying stuff
he's
like
getting tilted.
this. Going ahead, stating as a fact that 1.0 characters can't clear.
Yeah, that's just not true. But this is the thing. I said they can't comfortably clear. And what I will say is, Saint, you dish that shit out to creators all the time. All the goddamn time.
They're just stating as a fact that
you think we don't deal with the same shit when you come over here? All right, ladies and gentlemen, Gacha Smack here has got a bit of a thing, a bit of a pickle. I be dealing with the same retards,
1.0
man.
characters aren't able to clear.
And that's why it's important to always just get in the call.
That's the thing, right? I don't think that's really working out that well when it's just,
Happiness, boys. Hopefully my voice is returning.
All right, yeah, we're at the end of the video.
Yes.
Anyways,
holy shit.
this was a bit of a longer one, right? Because I do.
Okay, I don't fucking. I think we got like some bits. I think we definitely missed some context. But boys, if I watched a 2-hour react, less than 2 hours, I would say that's a bit of a W. 1.5 hours was my react to a 2-hour react, bro. We tried, man. We tried. But I think we're good to go. All right, man. Okay, hold on. Let me see something here. All right, I'm getting some DMs. Okay, yeah. Now, I'll let you guys in on something before we go into the shit. What, chat, is there anything you guys want to get off your chest? I have something for your throat, brother, man. I mean, this is the thing, man. Like, I've been getting cooked by this shit for 9 days. It's nothing different. Yeah. In fact, give me a second, chat. I'm gonna just go grab a water. When I get back, you guys ask whatever you want to ask. All right. I'm opening up chat, man. Say whatever you guys want to say. What did y'all think about the overall thing? Do you think if they add both bosses at the same time in the fight, we will get a better clearing time? Holy shit. I mean, yeah, theoretically, because AoE units would excel better. Or like all attacks can theoretically hit two units at once. So yeah, you would absolutely get a better clear time because all your rotations would hit people. Saint goes to sleep while hugging his Gion pillow. That's fucking hilarious. Can someone tell me why you didn't quit String Master on Yinlin? When I very first played Wuthering Waves, I was completely free to play. So I had to manage my resources the smart way. And so I didn't pull on her Sig because that shit cost a lot of money. Your point is valid. I can clear with Gion and Genzi in mid tower, but that doesn't shy away from power creep is happening. Exactly. And that's another thing. Like if you take a Genzi team, chat, take your Genzi and Jeje team. What's Genzi? Spectro? Who's going to be stronger, chat? Genzi and Jeje or Zani, Peeb, and fucking Spectro Rover? It's like, come on, Matt. You already know the answer to that. Genzi she can't hang with Zani, Peeb, and Spectro Rover with her best team. She just can't. The power creep has absolutely occurred. And HP inflation has increased with the newer floors. I would even say it increased a little bit with fucking 2 floors that were the original middle tower floors. The funniest thing though, I do think that while there's no individual power creep, the addition of more enemies and more bosses waves in the tower still means the HP has gone up. Yeah, this is the crowd. Guys, I was hearing the most like hypocritical arguments from some of these Kudo players. They were saying, you can't say it's HP inflation when they added new floors. If they added new floors, there was no HP inflation because it's new. I'm like, bro, what is this logic, nigga? What? So if they add 10 more floors with more HP mobs, that's not HP inflation? Like, what? So if they pull a Tower of Fantasy and put a never-ending fucking floor tower and it keeps getting more and more thick, that's not HP inflation? Like, what is this mental gymnastics, man? What is this mental gymnastics? I just don't understand that. There is HP inflation, nigga. It doesn't have to be on the same floor for it to be an HP increase. Inflate means to increase the HP. They definitely forget about chop chops and whimper and waist. Yeah, isn't it unfair to compare Genzi Jeje to Zani Peeb? How? It's Spectro DPS of the old versus Spectro DPS of the new. You take your best Genzi team at S0 versus the new Spectro team, which is Peeb and Zani, and Genzi's gonna get cooked, brother. It just works with the game, man. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people they just don't even try to understand. Because it only more rewards not affect previous rewards. Okay, so that was the other argument that people made. Okay, so God, you're saying it's only more rewards, not previous rewards. So then here's my thing I find funny about this. These are the exact same people, I guarantee you, that shit on HSR. HSR did the exact same thing. HSR added new floors, only more rewards, which was floor 11 and floor 12. It only used to be floor 10. They increased the HP and they increased power creep. It's the same shit. There's literally no difference here. People definitely understand. They're just trying to find a way to explain. Well, no, actually, yeah, I would actually agree, Ryuk. I think it's intellectual dishonesty. That's what I would say. You know what I want. You know what I think. And I'm just gonna keep it a stack, boys. All right, listen, look, we just gonna keep it a stack. I'm gonna say it because I think it is a potential truth. I think a lot of these people, possibly even Saint, don't want to admit that the very thing they have been shitting on Hoyo about is starting to, at the very ever so slightly, show itself in the game they've been using and rubbing in Hoyo players' faces as the God's greatest gift to the community, to the Gacha community. That's why they can't admit it. It's like, ooh, where it showed up in our game, and admitting that it is potential. It's like this is not something I'm theory crafting. It has already shown itself. It's already here. But saying that, I don't think people want to admit that because they understand they're going to have to face that backlash of the Hoyo community going, I thought Wuthering Waves would never do that. I thought Wuthering Waves would never do that. Kudobots trying to defend Wuwa. Yeah, man. I mean, like, bro, I tell you, all these gacha companies cannot be trusted, man. Saintontas was yapping saying Kudo is not Hoyo. Saint did say it's let's see what happens. Hold on. Is there a clip of Saint basically saying, like arguing against that? I would love to see that clip. I ain't going back in that 2-hour yap fest to fucking scounder, but if you got a clip, I'd love to hear it. Yeah, because if that would be a point of contention with my perspective, I'd love to hear what he has to say about that, actually. Same arguments in every Hoyo game. So wait and see. Because you care about the game, not the game, and you care about the players, not the company. Love you for that, bro. I just care about being fair and leaving a bias out as much as I possibly can. But it's just like, this isn't the first warning sign. First of all, let me shout this guy out real quick. AJ, thank you for the $5. Unk E33 win. I do need to get back on that. Fuck, that just threw me off my train of thought. I feel sad because I want to criticize the game I like, but if I say anything negative, I get backlash and dismissing of my arguments. Blazion, the Wuwa community can deny it as much as they want. These niggas be crashing out over the goofiest fucking topics, bro. Like I said at the very beginning of that react, niggas got mad because I called the weapon banner a scam. Brother, the weapon... Every weapon that comes out in Wuthering Waves is a scam. It shouldn't be detached from the character. Like, period, dog. Defending that is crazy to me, dog. It's like, what? That's crazy, bro. Like, nigga, the weapon bearer is a scam. Like, y'all are mad that I called the weapon bearer a scam and what's her name's weapon a scam? There's a lot of praise about. Yeah, I think it's unfair to give this much criticism when Wuwa is a gacha game and game in general are all untrustable. You know what? I will tell you this. A lot of games these days are way less trustworthy than they were when I was growing up. Sure, but we are not about to equate that. We are not about to equate gacha games to regular games, brother. I don't know how many times I got to tell you this. Gacha games are way the fuck down here. Then it's mobile games right here. And then these are regular games, right? Oh, you know what? Hold up. Gacha games are way down here. Then it's mobile games. Then it's live service games. And then it's sports games. Then it's Grand Theft Auto. And then it's regular games. Grand Theft Auto might be down here. Gacha in general is a scam, but people don't want to hear that. Yeah, no, it's like, I don't know, man. Oh, yeah. Did somebody have that link where Saint was saying that the Kudo is not like, he had something to say in disagreement with Kudo basically showing the very revelation of what Hoyo does? Because guys, I'm gonna be honest, Shakona and Kartathea, Peeb and Zani, Jeje and Carlotta, despite you having 4-star options, these are Hoyo plays. Because it's a gacha game, though. That I will agree with you guys on. They are doing a good gacha business model. They have to try and sell you the characters in the best way possible, and that's what works. This might be it. See through the full context? Okay, hold on. Let's see here. What's going on here?
And they did the same exact shit in ZZZ that they did to kill HSR and to kill Genshin's Endgame. HSR that they did and they did the same exact shit in ZZZ. And so I am of the opinion that having this level of skepticism doesn't really make that much sense because what Kuro has literally been doing.
Yeah, that's not enough context, brother. In fact, I really despise when like we don't get the full fucking like start point, finish point. Yeah, because that's how like out of context clips can just be completely like taken out of context, man. You know what I'm saying? Click watch full video. I don't know how to put it proper. Fuck, man. This wouldn't be a problem if Saint didn't spend 2 hours yapping. Is there a point where I say, is there a point in my video where oh, hold on, you sent me another one? Hold on, boys. Webcam blocking. Somebody just linked something, didn't they? Did somebody just link gamer subs? What the fuck? What is gamer subs? Hold on, bro. Am I crazy? What is gamer subs doing in my damn chat? Oh, that's the wrong chat, bro. Boy, I was about to say. Signal. Now, it's on the very final floor only where I run into these problems. Oh, I remember this part. But it's still been slowly introduced into the game. And so I confidently and honestly can say, by the way, this is not being, I'm not uploading this to YouTube as a video, chat. It'll be in my live stream in the archives for niggas to watch, but I'm not uploading this as a video. I just don't care to upload hour and 45 minutes of fucking Wuthering Waves and Kudo Games has like ripped a page straight out of Hoyo versus Book from Honkai Star Rail. And they have introduced a similar fashion as HSR's MOC format.
I think that's it. I don't think he's necessarily, that's not the wording that I would use, but this is basically the take. HSR
So he's being completely fair.
added new floors to its endgame. And then Wuthering Waves also added new floors to the TOA. That's basically, that's essentially it. Right. I do think, like, naturally, there's a lot more implications with the sort of hyperbolic statement that he's making. It is what it is.
No, that's not hyperbolic, though. That is way too specific of an identical implementation into a video game to be called a hyperbole. That is not a hyperbole. That's just not. Am I crazy? That's not a hyperbole. Wait, where's my chat? Hold on, bro. Damn, y'all got banished. Are y'all over here? Oh, y'all over here. That's not a hyperbole. Hold on. I think bro used the hyperbole incorrectly then. Hold on.
But that is genuinely at its core. That's what it is. And so that's why I led with that example of, oh, Hoyo made an open world game and so did Kuro. They ripped a page out of Hoyo's book.
Nah, that is not the same thing, say. Man, see, this type of shit make me want to go back into that 2-hour vibe, bro. Oh, man. Oh. You are a better man, Smack. You do not succumb to the ways of you popping off. That is not the same thing, bro. Come on, man. Let me close my door. I don't want to wake my girl up. Do not get rage baited. No, I'm not. Listen, man, I like Saint. That's the thing. That's why I'm trying my hardest to like be cool. But like that is just not even. That's just not even the same thing, bro. I could listen. Let me give you an example of what he just tried to do, chat. Maybe y'all can hear me on this. It would be like I eat oatmeal, right? And I watch another nigga eat oatmeal, and I say, "Hey, you're copying me." And he's like, "Brother, we all eat oatmeal." I'm like, "Okay, fair." That was the open world analogy he just used. But what I do, this is what I'm saying. I eat oatmeal and you eat oatmeal, right, chat? But I put blueberries, peanut butter, cinnamon, and walnuts in mine. And you put blueberries, peanut butter, cinnamon, and walnuts in yours. I'm like, hold on, nigga. All right. I'm starting to see a pattern here. You know what I'm saying? That's not even the same thing, bro. It's like it's too much specifics. It's like now let me tie it into Wuthering Waves. Wuthering Waves dropping a MOC the same way Spiral Abyss and dropping a TOA the same way Genshin Impact drops Spiral Abyss, the same way HSR drops MOC. That is a line you can put on the fucking graph. You can say, boop, all right, that's a line. You know what I'm saying? And then when they update their TOA, it's the exact same update design and like concept that MOC does in HSR. It's like, oh, boop, that's another line. You can now draw 2 lines. boop, boop. You know what I'm saying? That's not like open world versus open world. That's a dot you can connect. Now, if I were to use that, I'm not gonna say it's a bad faith argument. I don't like saying bad faith because it kind of like it's like you're trying to character assassinate the other creator. And I don't like character assassinating other creators, but it's a bad example. That's what I'm gonna say. Here's what I will say. If I were to even let him get away with that example, we would be stepping into stereotypes. Correct, chat? I'm educating here. We'd step into stereotypes. It's like, okay, well, now we're stereotyping. Check this out. And call me crazy. I'm about to let Unc Saint have that argument of the open world shit stereotype thing. Chat, when you watch a Game Awards show, and you be completely honest here, chat, when you watch a Game Awards show, a new trailer pops up on the screen and you see anime shell shaded characters. What genre are you going to immediately stereotype that into? A gacha game. You know it. Y'all know every time I watch a trailer, every time you guys watch a trailer, some of y'all saying JRPG, Gooner and shit. But when you see a new trailer and the first thing that appears, anime characters, shell shaded graphics, it's a meme at this point. It's a meme. Everybody goes, oh, fuck. Another gacha game, bro. Here we go. We got another gacha game on our hands. That's a stereotype for a reason because and here's the thing, 10 out of 10 times, maybe 9.9 out of 10, because some of them could be something like Dragon Quest, right? 9.9 out of 10 times, it is a gacha game. You see what I'm saying? So like, even if we take Saints, oh, he made an open world, so he made an open world, the stereotypes are there for a reason. It's like the anime shell-shaded games, oh, that's another gacha game. The 50-50 system in an upcoming gacha game, it's like, oh, that's a red flag. Okay, now correct me if I'm wrong. Chat, with the way gacha is going, free-to-play friendly-wise, is when you see a 50-50 in a newer gacha game, is that a red flag, yes or no? Yeah, it's a red flag. Now, in case there's anybody in chat who's going, why would that be a red flag? Every gacha game that's coming out it's getting so competitive in the space. It's getting so unbelievably competitive in the space. People are getting so numb to new gacha games doing the exact same Genshin formula, but tweaking this here and there. People are getting less and less hyped and less incentive to play the same thing, but with a chroma skin on it. So when it's the same shit, you're pretty much offering, maybe a little bit different. It's kind of, but it's like, I've been there, I bought the ticket, and you don't even have a better model of monetization. And then we see a 50-50. It's like, nah, I'm good, chief. I'll just go to the one I'm already playing. That is the mentality of, I would say, and I don't like speaking for everybody, I would say the vast majority of players. Would y'all say that is unfair to say? Whereas now our expectations as a community, we're thinking this next gacha game had better not have a 50-50 in it. And if it does, ooh, that's a red flag. It's the same shit that I did to counter Genshin Weapon Better. Yeah, exactly. And that's going to continue to happen, chat. It's going to continue to happen. Each new gacha company is going to continue to drop a gacha game that is better than the last one. Competitive pricing is always something to be aware of because that means they only did just enough for you to be satisfied with. And I'm going to be honest, I don't like that shit. I hate when I see a gacha company do this penny, nickel, and dime bullshit. Like, oh, well, you guys were playing that game for that. So how about we just do $90 instead of $100 for the same exact resources? I hate when companies do that. I actually still go to myself and think these niggas are trying to do the same shit, bro. It's once again, it's like, well, that's Satan, so I have to look better because I'm comparing myself to Satan. It's much more respectful to me, chat, when a gacha company completely invents the wheel on their monetary system. Something we've never seen before, because that lets me know they're not just trying to nickel and dime you and do what they know is working with other companies. They're actually trying to design a gacha game that is truly like authentic and an original chef cook.
trying to Beelzebub instead of a Satan. Yeah, it's like you're just trying to look better in the shadow of a shit fucking company. And that's like, I don't respect that shit. You're still a shit company, brother. But that said, chat, I'm the idiot because everybody falls for it. I'm the one who's tripping because I'm the odd man out. Everybody else goes, ooh, yeah, that's pretty good. So I'm the fucking idiot, man. You know, it's like, okay. And I always end up looking like a fucking madman when I tell people, bro, that shit is ass. I get it, but then you're taking a business model from Warframe where instead of money, you're burning time instead of investment. No, say, Joey, a majority of mobile gacha players play casually for 1 hour a day. Joey, we now live in a society. Hear me out. We now live in a society, Joey, where I can no longer get mad at companies for putting microtransactions in their game specifically for convenience sake for the working man, the working woman. You can't even get mad at niggas no more. People play games on their phones as they're on the way home, on the way to work, taking a break. This is the society we live in. Technology advancement has put us in a society now where not everybody has the same amount of time to get shit done. We can now play games on phones. I don't dislike having a shop that trades time for convenience. I don't dislike it. What I dislike is when it starts to get in the functionality and integrity of that video game. For an example, we all hate when we play a game and it gets time gated by, you can't open the chest until 3 days later. Tower of Fantasy, you cannot open the chest until 3 days later. It's like, bitch, if you don't get out my fucking face, like you're now fucking with the whole core like gameplay loop here. You know what I'm saying? Just quit the game, Unc. That is the most like, I refuse to understand reasoning. I can't make an argument, so I'm just gonna tell him to quit the game. Shit, like that argument is such a shit response, bro. It's such a shit response. Anyways, okay, now that we've done that react, I'm gonna take a shot in the dark here. Hey, Saint, if you are still in here and you feel that I misrepresented you in any capacity, now we can get in the call. Now that I've got my fucking lick back for yo ass farming me for 2 hours. Before I do story, if Saint is in here and wants to like clear up anything or like, you know, has something to say, get off his chest. If you're still in here, brother, we can talk. We can get it out the way. But I had to get my lick back because he was farming me for 2 hours. I just want a fun stream after a day. How do we get the society part? Yeah, I don't know. The thing is, we're also going to be, like I said, I'll be doing a podcast with Saint. So even if he's not in here, I'll be able to talk. We'll be able to talk out and hash out our differences in that call. Whatever he wants to say. If he wants to have a fucking debate, we can have a debate. If he wants to have a actual, he's calling. Wait, was that wild? Oh shit, my fault. I'm here. Okay, yeah, Saint's here. Let me get him up in here, man. I'm gonna have to. And my Discord always fucks me. I might have to switch over to. Oh wait, no, I can hear him. Saint, you here?
Yeah, what up, man? How you doing?
All right, yeah, what's going on, brother? Hey, first of all, I respect you for sitting through that entire 2 hours. I know every single point I made wasn't exactly a point that put you in a polite light. If there is anything at all like that you want to push back on that you thought I was out of pocket for, or, you know, get off your chest, go for it, brother.
Yeah, no, I heard your like little bits of criticism and all that. I think it makes a good bit of sense, but I would dare say that without, you know, because I think one thing for certain that did happen across these 2 hours, and great job on that, amazing farm. One thing that happened across those 2 hours was that you jumped around a lot, right?
Right.
Obviously, you said you weren't trying to like actually react to the whole thing. Respect that, no big deal. But I feel like with like the jumping around, you caught like bits and pieces of the take, and I feel like, you know, one thing you mentioned was that like, oh, I want to go back into it and see like what the takes actually, or like how bad the takes are. I feel like when you hear more from what I was saying, the take actually sounds better than what you saw.
So then I did. So then, okay, that's fair. And damn, my response right now was about to be a bit rude. I don't intend it to be, but what I was getting ready to say is I did what you did and I framed you in a bad light.
That's the thing, right? That's the thing. I don't necessarily view it as like you doing that, in my opinion, but I can see the reasoning for why you got there. So yeah, I respect that. I would just say the main thing is that like the bits of disagreement that I had, right, were just like, oh, it's like I agreed with your. I think so. This is the thing when you were jumping through. I think you missed like 90% of the parts where I'm just straight up agreeing with you.
Oh, I see
Um,
what you're saying. But see, this is
yeah, like
that's my problem. Say, why the fuck are you yapping for 2 hours, brother?
because we're going into game to like test some of the
Fair.
stuff out, right?
Fair,
We're going
fair.
into game, right? Because you mentioned something about HP inflation, right, with the mobs, and then I was like, I don't think the mobs take like more rotations to kill. The Dragon of Dirge just seems like a copy of a boss that you would find in floor 1, HP wise, right? That's what I was saying. And so
Okay.
it's like, oh, I'm killing all these in 2.5 rotations. I'm going in to test how much one rotation's doing on each boss. And then, that's how I'm like coming to those conclusions.
That's how you're
right?
coming to those conclusions. I get it.
Yeah. And so you're like, you missed out on like all of those pieces. And then I was just like, this is a stage that's 30 seconds longer. It's like they're putting in bosses that have more HP on the second half, right? The Lampy
Yeah.
Lumen has a fuck ton of HP.
Right.
But that's because that buff that increases your damage by 60% is in action, right? So the Lampy Lumen also roughly takes like 2.5 rotations. So I'm like, oh, like this is basically like a 5 rotation TOA,
Yeah.
right? And so like when I view like the hazard one as like a 3 rotation one, 2.5, it's like, oh, it just seems like the hazard one doubled. Like not really like HP inflation from that regard from like hazard one, and the boss is there.
So I think that's completely fair to say, right? But one of the floors that I think is undeniable evidence is that first floor against that fucking douchebag, fallacy of no return.
We can talk about Zhang Liao and Yinlin all day.
Yeah.
This is my take. I think that team is like, I view it as not the best example of 1.0 power creep because that team is reverse power creep. That team is reverse power creep. It's literally worse than like Havoc Rover Sanhua, Havoc Rover Dan. It's like
I
it's
get what you're
worse
saying. I didn't know where you were going
than
with
like free to play, like lower quality, or like teams, right, with less 5 stars. Like you get Mortifi Gian in there, they're doing better. And so I view it as like that team is like always gonna fit the bill, right, for being shit. But it was reverse power creep. That team is literally worse than the like a team that you could make in 1.0.
Give me an example
and
of what time? See, I'm all about result. What time would you think you would get with more Tefi Gian against the same exact scenario?
Yeah, so I've gotten close to. I've actually gotten like on stream. I would have to dig it up through my VOD, but I'm sure you can just take my word for it.
I'll
I've
take
gotten
your
like
word for it.
I've gotten like 250, 255, almost 3 minutes left on the 3rd floor with Gian. You know, the one with the Ikes.
Yeah, I'm talking about
then
fallacy.
Oh, against the fallacy. Yeah, I've gotten Camellia teams. I gotten like 45 seconds left. Gian team. He does have a small buff. Not a massive one. He has a small buff. That was doing it in like 50 seconds, 55 seconds, stuff like that. And so it's like, this is the thing. The fallacy is also a boss that can kind of move around a lot, especially in the second phase.
Yeah.
And so, that issue, right, that we're talking about with Gianna Lampy Lumen, right? He suffered a little bit from that, right? And kind of got the clear time extended that way. So Camellia also suffers from it as well because she's got to like chase the guy during the second phase of the fight.
Yeah.
So it's like even against that one, I can't view like I would say like less times, that would get relative to maybe like an Augusta team as like too much of like a big point for the power creep,
Right.
in my opinion, because it's like these guys are spending half the fight chasing afterwards, right? And with Camellia, it's like the slower. If you miss hits, then your ephemeral's delayed. You can like lose an outro skill because you're chasing the guy. You don't have it up for ephemeral. It's like stuff like that, right? There's a lot of like micro things in that fallacy fight that make it take way longer depending on the 1.0 unit that you're using, right?
Yeah, so
then
I have a Camellia showcase that I did, and I guess what we're coming to realize here, it just based off if I take everything you said at face value, is you just have much better builds than my builds. Because when I did the Camellia run, Saint, I didn't have no 45 seconds left on the clock. I had 10 seconds left. I'm just being honest.
I think I would say this: your Augusta build is really good. I think you're actually understating how good your Augusta build is because you like. I guess this is like one thing that I think is like a little bit like that I found a little bit off by the Augusta Zhang Liao comparison.
Okay, go ahead.
Zhang Liao only needs like 115% ER, 110%.
Okay,
right? I have 140, so
Right.
all those extra subs are basically dead. So
Mhm.
it's like only the first one counts. The rest of them, you can subtract one from like the 4 out of 5, right? It's actually a 3 because that ER is unnecessary when played in that hyper carry team. So
Okay.
it's like stuff like that where I'm just like, oh, it's like your Augusta pill was actually meaningfully better than the Zhang Liao one from that perspective. I know you missed like one crit roll, but like for me, like brother, I had like 7 13.6s on that build, right? Crit damage. That's like one step above like a min roll. And when it's like half of your pieces, 90% of your pieces are like min roll, like I think my Zhang Liao is like 69, 280. I don't think like that's that crazy. There are people that definitely have like way better than that, especially like the mains and stuff. So it's like I would say that build is like it's definitely above average, but I would say it's like a 7, maybe 7.5 out of 10 versus like maybe like I would say your Augusta's like maybe like an 8, 8.5.
So you were saying that your Xiong Liao build that had 4.5 hits on every piece except the top piece was an inferior saying. I'm gonna be honest, I'm push back on that one, brother. You had a
No,
fucking cracked Xiong Liao, bro.
Your Augusta build's better. Your Augusta build is actually better. I'm not even joking.
4.5, but how do you, okay, so genuine question. How do you even compare, if not to compare, how many of the stats you're looking for land on the sub stats? It's like you got
It's
every
because-
sub stat.
Because I got like 4 13.6s on the build, and it's like let's just imagine you have like 2 18%. That's
Right,
like
correct.
equal to my like my 3 12.6s.
Was that
right?
was
So
that what it was
like
though?
yeah, depending on the range of the rolls, like straight up, right? I think my highest crit damage on the Zhang Liao was 15%. You got like 17.6s, stuff like that. You got some pretty good stuff in there.
I'm looking at it. You got a 10.5 and a 15. You got an 8 and a 16. That's pretty damn good. You got an 8 and a 12, sure.
Yeah, then we got like 6.4% attacks, right? Like, you know, that's like, when a max attack roll is 11.6, it's like stuff like that, right? It's like,
Understood.
it's like
Where
you're getting
my
like half a max.
leads.
I'm looking at mine just to make, I don't even have a crit damage piece on my false sovereign though.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, right? Oh, and this is the other thing. Smack, you probably got to make a video on this. We just got to talk about Sonata set diff, right?
Sonata set diff. Oh, you're talking about in terms of
like look at the effect on Crown of Valor versus Void Thunder, right? It's like from that context, it's like I think this is one of the things that actually drives power creep a lot is set power creep.
I see
In
what you're
that
saying.
like the Sonata sets releasing now are just like straight up better, right? Look at Cartithia's set.
attack and 20% crit damage, and it's only 3 slots.
Yeah, 30% crit. 30% attack.
My bad. 30% attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. 30% attack,
Yeah,
20%
and
crit
like
damage.
that's straight up better than Void Thunder, right? And you look at Cartithia's set, right? Like that one is, I think, the most egregious. It's just Sierra Gale with 10% crit rate.
Yeah.
Cartithia's set is the same bonus as
Lova's
Sierra
too.
Gale, but has 10% more crit rate.
Frolovage is a
like
free
that's-
ass 20% crit rate.
I think that's really like the biggest contributing factor to like the difference in clear times. That's my I think the kits, except Yinlin and Zhang Liao's, they're just fucked, right?
Yeah,
I
here's
feel
the
like
thing.
the rest of the 1.0 units, if they got new Sonata sets, it's like, or like the existing ones got buffed, they would easily be in competition. I think
I feel like you're getting down to what you would like to say, the brass tacks. I can't see in this. I think you have great merit to what you're saying right now. My thing is, as I told you, I'm just a result guy. I just go in the tower and I say, oh, this is the time we got, and this is the time we got. I look at the builds and I say, okay, it's a pretty measurable build. But I'm not sitting here critically thinking about what actual variables outside of the things I've already mentioned are affecting it. But I'm gonna be honest, these new Sonata sets do, from a glance, look like they're stronger for sure.
Absolutely right. And so it's like, even if you're missing like a sub or something like that, right? Or even if there's like a slight differentiation, one subsets are like 2, 3, 4, 5%, even 10% better.
Right.
The set itself is so much better that like that's also like another contributing factor in the clear times, right? Like just at a baseline, COV is
because Augusta just freezing time, so nobody can move. She gets her whole entire ult off, no interruptions. That is a significant. That's like a QOL that's not even a QOL.
Oh, absolutely, right. It's like, like this is the thing, right? Zhang Liao is actually one of those characters that like has that QOL in his kit, right? He
Yeah.
got the time slow. He has like gap closing out the wazoo. Like you press one skill on him and he fucking zooms, right? He just instantly appears, like instant
He's
transmission
a
right next to the enemy.
complete kit.
Yeah, yeah. And that's the thing. It's like he has all that quality of life, but then it's just Yinlin is so dog shit. She's so bad. Like
He's
as
really
like his
bad. Like that bitch is one of the worst characters in the game. There's just no denying
straight
it.
straight
Her
up.
damage is
with
ass. Her fucking coordinated attack damage is ass.
her rotation sucks dick doing.
And that
Like
too.
playing her is like the worst thing ever.
But see, that's why I was saying, Saint. That's why I was like, how are niggas calling me crazy about this power creep when it's power? That is an example of she just got shit on.
Yeah, the thing is, it's like I view that Yinlin Zhang Liao team as just like it feels
a one-off
like
bad
shit.
example.
Yeah, it feels like an outlier, right? Because
Okay.
it released and it's literally worse than existing 1.0 teams, right?
Okay.
I think it's so it's just you can always I think the comparison is 100% true, right? But it's like there's such a low bar in comparison to the rest of the lineups that it's like
And Yao was free to defend your point.
yeah, true, right? I don't think the problem in the team is even him though, right? Sure, we could say that like, oh, he's a free unit, that's why he's not meant to like be as, high on like the damage side or something like that. But I think if like a for liberation damage, right? Just straight up 50% outro skill buff for liberation damage comes out, I think Zhang Liao might actually be back. Because the Yinlin is like the big issue, and I'll agree until like the days fucking the world ends that she needed a rework like months like versions ago.
Yeah.
She still needs one right now.
Okay, now here's another question. And you actually would be more informed on this than I am because I don't know the answer. Why? I don't have Peeb and I don't have I never played Jinzi. Using a different example, Jinzi and whoever her best, which I think it's Jeje, versus Zani and Peeb. Wouldn't Zani and Peeb no diff the fuck out of the Jinzi, or am I wrong to say that?
You're correct. And this is the argument that I
Okay.
think somebody was trying to make in chat,
Is
but
there a
I don't think they
caveat?
made it. Yeah, there's a caveat to that, right? You look at the kits of Zani and Phoebe, and there is no question that Zani will probably never get a better buffer.
Okay.
Will never have a better amplifier ever.
Phoebe and Jelly.
Right? Like if they were to release a new sub DPS for Zani that performed better than Phoebe, like there should be riots.
Yeah.
Because of how closely their kits are like intertwined with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Jeje and Jinsi is not that, right?
Yeah,
Jinsi would want
you're right. It's like doesn't even make sense actually. It's like what the fuck is Jeje doing with Jinzi like as the best option only? It's
Right,
almost
it's
like
like
Jinzi
Carl-
still has
that's-
yet to get her best partner.
absolutely right. Jinsi would need a level resonance skill buffer that is off element, has coordinated attacks, and then provides 50% resonance skill outro.
So Jinzi's
like how
Blade,
does.
She's been waiting for a long time for a partner.
She's been waiting for a long time, but right, she gets a teammate. She gets somebody else's teammate, right? She got Cantarella. And I think Cantarella is technically better than Jeje if you like play the team properly. But like Jeje's just more comfy because she's easier.
Mhm.
But yeah, like she gets like Cantarella. Anytime there's a resonance skill buffer that has coordinated attacks, Jinsi gets a new teammate, right? So it's like that's where her teaming comes, or that's where like her roster stuff has come in, but she doesn't have like her Phoebe for the Zani yet. That's
Okay.
100% certain.
So then a final example, once again, you will have better knowledge because I don't have Gian. So I'll just let you take the floor here and hopefully your integrity is there. Gian Mortefi versus Kartathea Shakona.
Yeah. Let's be real here. Mortefi's a 4-star unit.
Okay. And you know what? I'll yield to that one. That's completely fair. So then 1.0 units just got fucked on their partners there.
I think they're getting fucked really hard by their partners. And I dare say Camellia got fucked getting Rosia because that character is fucking shit.
It is.
She's
In terms of maximum DPS, it might even be worse if you go to a tower of adversity. Outside of Whimper and Waste, she's virtually useless.
Essentially, yeah. It's you can actually get better results playing Sanhua than Rosia, depending on like what you're doing. So it's like Camellia has, I think Rosia with her signature is better, just without a doubt because of Rosia's personal damage contributing.
Yeah.
But without her sig, it's like Yeah, I don't know about that one, boss. I don't even play that team. I actually use Sanhua instead. I have the best Rosia in Gacha Gaming.
See, this
Her
is
build
why
is criminal.
this is why the calls are important, Saint. Because right now I feel like we're discovering a whole new answer here, and that answer is the 1.0 units never got the premium pieces that the newer units got.
This is actually something I've been saying for a while when it comes to power creep. I always use Carlotta's Sonata set as an example. You look at that shit, you add up the bonuses in Carlotta's Sonata set, it's like 72% skill bonus damage. It's 72% damage bonus, and the other ones are 40.
No, that's
so
fucking
you're just
ridiculous.
like, it's just like, it's literally almost like 60, 70, 80% better. And it's just like, that's the first 2.0 set. And so I've always had in the back.
My bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, I've always had in the back pocket, like Kuro just has the move of buffing the old Sonatas or adding new ones, right? For all these 1.0 units, because they're actually using dog shit in comparison.
Yeah, that's fair. I was just going to say, in addition to that, the best examples, to my knowledge, is Shakona and Peeb giving 100% damage amplification, calling it frazzle, but in reality, they then loop that in with Kartathea and Zani's kits. It's just the new multiplicative word. They're spectral.
Oh, yeah.
This is considered spectral frazzle, and therefore you get 100% damage bonus and not a 40 or 38 that we used to get from original units.
Oh yeah, but they balance that out by making Zani's base values like dog shit. So you like need the amp for it to deal like meaningful damage.
EO said, I like this version of Saint. I forgot to tell them this the other night.
Oh yeah, brother got an intervention. Found out why there's some beef. But yeah, we hashed some stuff out.
That's fucking hilarious. I was not there for that. I wish I was. That makes me happy. It does, man.
It was a let's just say it was a trip.
So
it was definitely a trip. We'll see. Depending,
okay.
You know, if I catch another VOD getting reviewed without my permission, we'll see. Yeah, man. Who knows? Maybe the next time I play Duet Night Abyss, I'm gonna have a video made out of me. First time I played that game.
Damn, that's crazy. Okay, I see. There's a little tension in the air there, man. But you know, I do think it's healthy that you talk with people. I didn't want to get too fucking apart from the subject, though. We did talk about that. Was there anything else where you feel like I was being a dick, or like, I don't know, some point? You're absolutely right, and I actually hate missing any context at all. But we already established I just wasn't about to watch 2 hours because it would have been a 5-6 hour stream.
Absolutely, yeah.
Especially with us. Let's admit it. We're both established creators. We do have egos. I'm not going to take anything lying down. Neither are you. But I will say, Saint, you be starting them. You know you be starting them. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We got a little bit of a situation here.
I mean, this is the thing, man, right?
This is the thing.
When you like we all know what's right. This is one thing. It was right at the start. It was right at the start of your react, and I just wanted to address this.
No,
also,
I think that's why I'm doing this.
Hyperbole.
You know how this is when we start doing this shit. You get chat, people start getting wild. We both have people who hate us in the community. I want to make sure you clearing up things, man.
Yeah, I've been aware of whoever was sending you DMs, and I was making some bad faith. I'm like, that's not what it's.
Saint, you have no idea how many times I've gotten that. This is the first time I tell it publicly. I don't lie. I've gotten DMs at least 27 times in the past like 5 months.
Oh my goodness!
Some of them aren't even you reacting to me. It's just them crying about you doing something and wanting me to say something. I'm like, bitch, and I just ignore them. But it's just like, it's ridiculous.
All right, I feel it, man. Same thing. I mean, same thing happens, right? Like people. I mean, this is the thing, right? There are people coming into my chat, people leaving comments saying that like Smack was saying some absolutely outrageous things, right? Same thing with the weapon video, right? Smack wants pay to win. He literally thinks the game should be more predatory, right? They're saying shit like that, and I'm just like, that's clearly not what's going on. I think he's pissed about the weapon effect, right? And like that's the conclusion that we like came to and stuff like that.
Hold on. I would say when I watch those videos, Saint, and I'll silently let you make it, but in them videos, you be doing that framing shit again, where you'll be like, I'll give you an example, a tangible example. The rotation I did, you were picking that shit apart and framing it as if it was the wrong rotation. You were like, ooh, he's not getting this damage bonus. He's not getting this. He's not getting that.
Time out. You got two different rotations in your
I do.
videos.
And,
okay,
here's
I'm
the
saying
thing.
that first video, that rotation is cooked.
No, it's not.
Right? No, in the first video where you like getting the ascendancy point, doing all of that, like
No,
like,
say, listen, brother. I literally, and I never uploaded it to public because this is the type of dude I am. I'm like, you know what? It ain't that fucking deep. I have a showcase. I'll show it to you right now on stream. The same rotation got the best time out of all rotations I did. And I'll give you an example. It was one little thing that I did. I just made sure to attack with Gusta one time in the swap back fashion to upkeep the buff before I swapped over to her. That was literally it.
No, I'm saying your rotation where you just liberate at the start, right? And then just do like and then you kind of like go to shorekeeper, then do all of that. That's the right one, right? That's 100% the right one. I'm saying that's not what was in your first video. You like go through, you like do like the jump and stuff. And like do all of that.
Are you on? Are you here to watch what I'm about to show you?
Yeah, I think I got your stream open.
Okay. Let me show. I literally called this Augusta Ascended, bro. Hold on, because I did two different variations. First of all, I want you to see this real quick. This was the run unblemished, unchanged. Unchanged. That was That was against Cartetia before the reset. Unchanged. That was under a minute. Yeah. And if you want to watch the whole thing, we absolutely can. But I want to show you the one I improved. Okay.
Oh, I know. I'm saying I saw your improved one, and I was like, "That's
no,
good.
no.
This one right here.
This is a different
you're cooking
one.
right here.
No, say you're about to see. That's what I'm trying to tell you, brother. This is the one that you said was cooked.
No, right. Brother. No.
Watch.
Play your own video. I'll link your own. I'll link a timestamp in your own video.
Okay,
I'll link it
because
I'll
say all I'm asking is just watch the video. Look, just watch it. Just watch it. Watch it. You're gonna see what I'm talking about. You haven't seen this. You haven't seen this yet. I swear. You haven't seen this yet. Just watch it.
All right, fine. Silence. Then I'll link yours, and you gotta watch that, okay?
Okay. Because I remember you're like, he's on the field with her for so long.
Divine grace.
Look, I'm on the field with her the whole time. This is insane. You were saying, oh wow, he's still on the field. Oh my god, he's wasting a lot of damage.
Leave it to me. Stay.
Fury boils.
I mean,
Inferno.
See, I made sure to attack with her just a little bit, just to upkeep the buff. That's it. That was the only change right here on this one.
yeah, I'm saying, don't your other rotations? I'm pretty sure they do better.
No, this is the best one. This is the best time I ever got, Saint. Look, I'll just fast forward. Hold up. I'll let you catch up. Yeah, dude, 404.97 is the time. That was the best one I got.
I'm pretty certain this is. No, you got better times.
No, I didn't, Saint. If you go watch the other one, it was like 403 or some shit. Because remember, my Augusta build. It's funny that you said my Augusta build is above average and all that. You're not giving your Augusta build enough credit when your fucking Augusta build was way stronger than mine. You was getting like 40K hits and shit. But basically, like my Augusta build is in comparison to like yours and other people, it's actually not all that because y'all's times are harder. But I'm telling you, this was the best time I ever got. I would not lie about that. And this was the scuffed one that was cooked.
Let me go check out the video that you showed.
Here, you don't even have to. Look at this. This is the first one where I didn't change it at all. You'll see the same bullshit. You're gonna be like, okay, what the fuck? No swap back or anything. And then I swap back over Augusta right here, which is not the other one that you approved of. This is the one you were like, nah, bro, you wild.
Nah. Okay. So one thing for certain is you were not doing swaps in your first video.
Okay. All right. Say now we gotta just pull it up. Okay. Now we'll just pull it up, bro. Let's just fucking pull it up. God damn it.
Okay. You know what? I got it. I got you. I'll send you the link. I'll send you the link to show you what you were doing.
You are wild, brother.
Just go.
You're playing her wrong. You're playing her wrong?
You got the chapters for it.
I got the chapters. I got the chapter on deck. Okay, hold on. Here we go. Oh yeah. This is the showcase. Yeah, this is it. Showcase right here. Yeah, let's watch it. Let's watch it. Chat, y'all are witness too. You said you wasn't swap backing.
You're not. Like,
okay,
just keep watching. You ain't swapping back.
No, hold up, no. But look,
That's not the same.
look, hold on. This is the same. Hold on. This is like you can't even. This is like a nitpick, I would say. Let me show you why. Hold on. Okay, did it start? Jesus. Okay, here we go.
Look at this. Like you do a little bit at the start, right, to just activate Shorekeeper's buffs. Then look at what you're doing.
Oh, I never ulted with Shorekeeper.
This is why I said like this one's kind of cooked, brother. Like you can see why it's cooked, right?
Yeah, no. I didn't ult with Shorekeeper until this shit was done.
Like it's cooked. That's why I was like, what the fuck is he doing?
Okay, yo, hey, you are 1,000,000,000% right there. That's fucking funny as hell.
And this is what I did. This is what I did on the stream, and I was like, this is doing no damage.
No, but you hold on though. First of all, I stand corrected. You are absolutely right. I want to get that one out. But I want to. Where's your video at where you were cooking?
God, my video where I reacted to it.
And you're able to get all of that stuff done.
Yeah, I tried out that rotation myself, and I was like, wait, this is not good.
Well, the thing is, you say that, but the time was still under a minute.
Oh yeah, I mean Augusta. Let's be real. She had that shill ass buff, right? She had that shill ass buff for that rotation. It was like an extra. It was a shit ton of extra heavy attack.
Okay, here we go. Hold on, Saint. Okay. Let's listen to you right here.
Maybe this is where it's.
All right, let's try and walk you guys through this. So first of all, I would like to say you're 100% right. That rotation was scuffed. I didn't ult with Shorekeeper, but you were picking my shit apart before you even got to that.
One of the things I
did because I saw your rotation before I pre-watched it, right? Because I watched your video and then I was like, oh shit, Smack's talking about
pre-watching Little Whore.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit, Smack's complaining about the uptime of the weapon buff. That's probably because of the weird shit he was doing in that video.
Oh my fucking god, that's so fucking funny, dog. Like looking back on it, that's so funny. Now listen to this though. Hold on.
It's
shut up
friendly, and that's the first thing you want to do.
Shut up, Smack. Fucking play the goddamn. Just play it, bro.
Using both of his, as you can.
Maybe let's watch the showcase. Yeah, he does here. It's just
okay,
this
here we
video
go.
without the pausing. Okay, let's see what he does here. Okay, so he starts off with the big. Oh.
See, do you see the framing right there though? You now don't lie, say that is you going, yeah, no, that's the wrong way to do it. That is the framing of oh. You know that's what you're doing, say you little fucker. And they say, oh, so like it's like you're already setting the room for niggas to go, oh yeah, he fucked up with the ult at the beginning. But the ult at the beginning, it cooks. In fact, fucking Wallenstein got the fastest clear time I've ever seen on the internet with ulting at the beginning.
Yeah, because what I was thinking in my mind is, oh shit, he's not gonna have buffs like Shorekeeper stuff like active for that ult, and that's you know it does like a nice fair. 170k, right? So I was just like, oh shit, he must be doing some crazy shit afterwards to make up for that being unbuffed.
Hell nah, say you was framing that shit to cook me, nigga, don't lie.
And then you did not cook though in the gameplay afterwards. So I was just like, oh shit, this is no Shorekeeper Stella realm. Bro's just like rotating through Augusta's entire kit with no buffs up. What's going on?
That fucking look at you, bro. You trolling so hard.
Starting off with that,
because I'm wondering what possessed you when you were doing this rotation.
That's a lot to cast unbuffed.
Say definitely about him. Oh my god, dude. That's okay. It's all good. But that's that framing shit I be talking about. But to your credit, I definitely did not ult with Shorekeeper. I thought I did, but I didn't. That's so fucking funny, dog.
I was like, at least get an outro skill, brother. Like,
yeah, that is too fucking funny, man. I'm gonna be honest, like genuine good laugh. I'm coughing my ass off. All right, I keep knocking us off, man. If we were at anywhere point that we could continue, it's up to you, brother.
Yeah, okay. That's like that's just one of them, right? So that's the whole like rotation thing. The other one was the stuff with like the thumbnails at the start. I'm just saying that as a CC because I know people are going to get pissed off about thumbnails all the time. And I was just like, with Smack and these thumbnails, he knows he's gonna piss at least a couple of people off with this one.
Yeah, I am fully aware, but the thing is, like, I don't care because it's like if you get mad at that, you're just a fucking idiot to me. Like, it's just
Oh
like,
no,
bro,
I agree with you 100%. That's the thing, right? And so it's
Mhm.
just like, and then I was commenting on the disclaimer to just be like, I'm glad he did this one though, so people know that this isn't going to be like rage bait off the bat, right? In
Mhm.
case there's somebody that got rage bait about the thumbnail, right? It's going to be a civil discussion instead of all of that. I thought it was good. I thought it was good framing what you're
Yeah.
doing. That's why I was calling it out.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, and then the other one was the hyperbole. I'm just talking about your wording there. Ripped a page out. It makes it seem like, oh, it's like thievery and shit like that. I was like, it's like I was referring to the phrasing. Rip the page out as the hyperbole, not
Rip the
the point
page out
that
of
you were
Hoyo's
making.
book. Oh, okay, I get what you're saying. But that's not hyperbole, brother. Listen, it would be a hyperbole if it's exaggerated, but it is I would say it's fair to say it's identical, almost like completely identical to what Hoyo does. That's not exaggerated.
Yeah, I'm saying the phrasing is like, I feel like it would have been less like in the example is like I would have viewed it as less hyperbolic to say that it was like inspired by, right? Like that's obviously like way kind of like I would say like a
Boy,
less
don't get your
aggressive
Shakespeare
wording.
head ass. We're arguing semantics, brother. We're arguing
No, that's
semantics.
what I'm
Inspired
well,
by.
that's the thing, right? It's like if we're talking about like hyperboles and stuff, and the semantics, I feel like it kind of like matters, right? Because like that's how
You
a
know what?
hyperbole is made because of the semantics.
No,
that
you know what? You preaching because like on the internet where niggas put all your words under a microphone, a fucking magnifying glass. You're absolutely right. It's like, especially when I can't defend myself, people like to take things and then assume the worst. Wording does matter. It does absolutely, but I mean, it's still semantics at the end of the day.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and that's
Yours is a
the word
nice way to put
hyperbole.
it.
Yeah, it's all about semantics over there. And so like I guess just to like follow up and finish that part, where I'm like defending Kuro games, right? The example that I
Pull the
used
glasses.
was I actually did that in real life. The example that I used to kind of talk about, okay, so Kuro's doing some stuff, right? That
Mhm.
may be getting people to think that they're becoming a lot more like Hoyoverse, right? Then I see them release Augusta and Yuno, where their kits are intentionally designed to work perfectly
Right.
with the signature weapons of Zhang Liao and Jian. Augusta didn't need 2 liberations, right? She
Mhm.
already got a badass one, but she activates that liberation at the end of her rotation. And Jian's signature requires you to use a liberation to activate its heavy attack boosting effect.
Yeah.
And so Augusta has that first one she can use at the start to activate the effect, and then the intro skill later on to activate the second half. But and my viewpoint is that if Kuro really was giga predatory and being as like giga ass as like, just think about HSR and its light cones. God forbid you try using any other light cone other than Castorus on Castorus, right? The best alternative is fucking Bailu's if you're a free to play.
Yeah.
The fucking preservation characters or the abundance characters light cone being the free to play alternative, you don't have no effect and it's only for the HP, right? Stuff like that. Where Kuro designed Augustus and Yudo's kit to work perfectly when they didn't need to do that, right? They could have easily made it so that their weapon effects felt super exclusive, right? And you had a lot more pressure to
I
pull
get what
it
you mean.
to get the S level performance that you're looking for, right? Right now, imagine the SIG is S++. Jian and Zhang Liao SIGs are like S++, right? Maybe 5% less, 10% less, depending on the rotation that you're
But
using.
universal.
Yeah. It's stuff like that where I see that happening, and I'm like, okay, right.
I think that's fair.
We can worry about the trajectory of the game, right? We see that it's implementing a similar sort of like endgame expansion to HSR, but then in the same vein, I'm also seeing the company literally make one of the most, I don't want to say free to play friendly, depends on if you pull the signatures,
Yeah,
but
let's
like
not go too
veteran
far.
friendly, like player. I would say it is player friendly though. The way that they designed their Augusta and Yuno signature balance, right? So it's like I see them doing one thing in
No,
this
Augusta's
direction.
a good example though.
Yeah, I see them doing this one thing in one direction, and then something is sort of in the other. But I haven't seen enough in game of like the it's becoming like HSR to really offset what I literally see in game is like how Augusta and Yuno are designed.
So for me, just to give you some context on where I see they are coming like HSR. First of all, to your credit, you are absolutely right. Augusta's a perfect example because fuck, you got the 4-star option too. It's like, man, that just shits all over HSR's model. It's like you don't even need her. It's a 10, 15, 20-second difference depending on your skill expression, whatever. But on the other end of the spectrum, all the other units, they're best in slot, and the 4-star option is often at times a hell of a lot worse. Like Zani and Spectral Rover feel like dog shit in every capacity of the game except TOA. And then they're doing this exact same thing that Hoyo did in HSR, which is PB&J banner scheduling. The best unit that you need is right after the unit that you pulled for, right? We've got that happening with Galbrina and Shuyin. We had it happen with Yuno and Galbrina, and then we had it happen with Shikona and Kartathea. It's like Peeb was the only one that had some real breathing room away from fucking Zani. But like that's my other problem that I see is a parallel to HSR. It's like, are we going to keep doing the peanut butter and jelly thing? Because if you just put them every other banner apart, the guy who's aiming for that playstyle has a whole patch to breathe.
Yeah, I guess the viewpoint is that I definitely see the.
The last thing I want to say. No, you're good. I paused and you did not interrupt me. That was me. The last thing I want to say is the aggression of their banner scheduling. And you could call me crazy. It feels like it's ramped up a lot in recent days. Where we used to have like a break here and there. It's like I ain't seen a break in a minute.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about from the perspective of, oh, a character should have like a version or two to like settle before their best in slot comes out. And I think some people are rightfully so suffering a little bit of like PTSD from the Chacona Cartithia release. And I think that's kind of like an extreme example because my point of view is those two were released right after each other, right? But they're also like filling out an archetype. And it's also just like they're kind of like an extreme example for me because then I think about Furlova, where Cantarella had already been released. I think about Augusta, where if you don't pull like you just said, right, you're perfectly fine.
You're fine.
You're perfectly fine running her with Mortifi. And then if you didn't pull Augusta, is a great main DPS with Johnson in Shorekeeper, right? She clears all the content in the game in that team. So it's like, I view those recent releases as well as, they're right after each other, but is so multi-rolled. Maybe she's a little bit broken, but she's so multi-rolled that if you can roll on her without having Augusta and you don't really care, and you can roll on Augusta without and you don't really care. Yeah, your TOA run's going to be like 10, 20 seconds faster, but like, okay, great.
Rolling on without Augusta Saint, I ain't going to cap, brother. I would not recommend that.
Hey, all I'm saying is she's very fun to play main DPS.
She is fun. She's fun.
She is really fun to play in the Chacona Gian team. And she is gonna be an insane heavy attack buffer for anybody else that comes out, right? So you think about
you did not just tell me without telling me. I kick you in the chin. It's like, come on.
No, I'd say she's gonna be, and it's because of her outro skill. Any heavy attacker that comes out will also probably work with her.
Any heavy attacker, huh? Okay, say. All right.
Yeah, so I mean that's the thing, right? She is a standalone unit without a doubt, right? You got Augusta and they're both standalone units that have no real reliance. You can pair them up, but you don't need to. And it's a complete separation, right? From the whole incident that we have with like Cartithia and Chacona being right after each other. These two units are, but they're completely independent and they can flourish on their own. And I view that as like a course correction from Kuro after like the feedback that they got over the specificity of like the Zani and the Chacona kits. We have two of the characters that are like easily the most standalone units we've ever had, and then they also use 1.0 unit weapons at the same time. So it's almost like a double whammy from that perspective for me. I'm very happy with how their kits turned out, very happy with how their weapons turned out.
Oh, dude.
I think they're actually two of like the best ones we've had in like the history of the game.
The moon form where you go to domain expansion and then you intro in with Augusta, and then for a slight second there's a sun and moon right next to each other like yin and yang is one of the most beautiful fucking cooks I've ever seen in a game. There's no doubt about that.
You're paying a little bit for the aesthetics over there for sure.
I mean, it's just great though. It's just such a like a poetic way of introducing the sun and moon. aspects.
Yeah. I think they did a great. You haven't played the story yet, right? I feel like
No.
if you haven't pulled Uno yet, you're definitely gonna want to after that story. I feel like you're really gonna like it.
Yeah, the thing is, I might be cooked because I've been coughing and talking my ass off. I don't even know if I can, like, this Unk Smack can't last too much longer, bro. Might have an hour in me.
That's true. It's
I,
kind of a long one. It's about three.
yeah, but
Two and a
I
half.
want to say, I think you made some pretty fair points there. In terms of some of the, what would you say, the rechange in course after feedback, trying to make things a bit more palatable. But at the end of the day, man, losing those 50-50 still fucking hurts. Feeling
Oh,
like
yeah.
characters, certain characters, not all of them, but certain characters do run into those situations where there isn't an alternative signature option. And so their performance goes down drastically, which is funny because I already know people are going to be like, well, did you say signature weapons should be stronger? I want
That's
signature weapons to
actually a
be stronger.
point that I raised in the video. I was like, people are gonna give Smack shit for that prior take because it's like this video is kind of like they're gonna conflate his other vid that he made
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then compare it to this one.
It's so ridiculous,
That's another
though.
point that I made.
Yeah, no, and say I didn't see that, and so I guess to your credit there, that's cool, full context. But I'm still gonna push back on 2-hour yap sesh. But that said, man, the signature weapon being stronger, I still advocate for it. I still push for it for $100 price point. But however, one thing we can agree on, and this is the next thing I was gonna push back on, is Wuthering Waves' options outside of Sigs are fucking horrible, man. With the exception of Morteffi's weapon and then the Emerald of Genesis, I'll give you those two. But then in some certain characters, it's just like, it's all right. Like Cartethia, if you ain't got that bitch a sig, it's just like, what are we doing here, bro? I'm one of them people who didn't pull on Cartethia sig, and I just feel like a fucking idiot because I just like, what do you use with her, man?
I would dare say that Chacona is actually probably a little bit more important than Cartithia's signature because
She is.
I'm gonna be real here. EOG ain't even that bad on her. And the reason why is because you can go double crit damage on the forecast, and her crit damage is literally going to be higher on an EOG build than it would be on a baseline one.
But
and
not
you can
having an
kinda balance
HP
it out
4-star is a
little bit that
problem,
way.
though, man.
An HP 4-star?
And not having an HP scaling 4-star weapon is like, it's just shit.
Ooh, yeah.
was my point.
From that perspective, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
And it's like, I guess the thing is that you're kind of like balancing the exchange of like crit rate with or like crit rate with like the HP made stat bonus.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be real, you probably have to run some calculations. You probably need to get somebody with sheets to come out with it. I feel like it's actually pretty hard to offset like the impact of that much crit rate, right? Like 24.3%. That's more than a 4-cost Echo in terms of like the crit rate that it's given. And
You're talking
the
about the
other
main
thing
stat of how much HP percent you get. Is that what we're talking about?
yeah, like on
Okay,
a weapon,
gotcha.
right?
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
how
It
Cartithia's
would
weapon
depend.
got,
Go ahead.
yeah, it's got that main stat where it's like 412 base attack and then like 70% HP. But
Yeah.
then her weapon gives like no critical effects, right?
Right. Well, it would depend
so-
on how big her multipliers are or HP scaling multipliers are. That would be the
I mean-
factor. If they're large enough, then HP is it's a huge, significant boost.
Yeah, I think her scaling is like okay. I think it's
okay.
I think it's like a really. That's why Chacona is more important because Chacona gives you the erosion stacks that you can like scrape away at 6 stacks,
Yeah.
like every single attack with her, and that's where like a lot of the team's damage comes from.
Uh-huh.
And then Chacona's liberation ends up dealing damage too. That's why I say the two characters enable each other
Hey,
because
chat.
Chacona's liberation is stuck at 3 stacks.
I apologize for making y'all look at this ugly ass dude the entire time we've been talking, bro. I genuinely apologize, bro. That's my bad, bro. Hey, thumb the street down for that one, bro. That's just disrespectful, bro.
You just have people staring at a tamburinas for 10 fucking minutes.
Tamburinas, man. Oh shit. Okay, well, is there anything else you want to talk about, brother?
No, I think that's really it, right? I think the main thing is that yeah, the react was long, but I kind of used your video as like a launching pad for just like an overall discussion about the end game and overall
You had a
discussion about
podcast
like
before the podcast.
yeah, what one man podcast.
Yeah.
essentially, right? With the
It was a good warm
occasional
up, by the way. We'll be able to have some pretty good thought out discussions in it.
this is the thing. After watching your vid and reacting to it, that's why I wanted to have the discussion. Because
Yeah.
I felt like I got to see the alternative side, like the alternative side of like the argument in like a really fleshed out way. I agreed with a lot of what you said, but it's kind of like I was more so focused on it's like, oh, a little bit of like the messaging over here, I feel like some people might get like different impressions, right, than what I feel like is actually taking place because of those examples that you're using, right, with like the S Rover Zani team. I
It was
mainly
received
critique
well
that.
though.
Yeah, no, I'm saying it was received well. It was a great video overall. But I was thinking, oh man, it's like he's saying stuff like the old units cannot keep up, and then it's like we never saw footage of like the old units, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like viewing from the perspective of, oh man, this I mean, it's not even like it did lead to people saying that like, oh, like straight up like Gianna and Camellia teams have no chance of clearing.
Right.
And
Right.
this is the thing, right? People are gonna do dumb shit with the content you make. There's no problem with the content, it's people doing dumb shit, right? People are literally saying that like, oh, Gotcha Smack barely clear with Zani. And so like how the fuck are all these other DPSs, right? The ones that are worse than Zani when, in most circumstances they're gonna be performing better than
You
like
try
within
your
S
best to
Rover.
clarify it because you're basically getting ahead of the curve of what you know. The misinformation is getting ready to come from my video due to a misinterpretation. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, that was a part of it because I was already getting. You saw the example in the React itself where somebody's going in and saying, "Oh, try to clear with a 1.0 unit," and then I banned the guy. Right? It's like that's one of like the spawn, like the unfortunate misinfo spawn from your vid.
Yeah.
All right, the whole S Rover Zani take. I'm saying that from the perspective of somebody that's like used to playing hypercarry rotations.
I
You
got you.
play Yinlin Zhang Liao, there's not really a lot of skill expression there,
You
right?
just
It's
get
all
that
about
shit
how you're
done.
right. And I'm like, well, Gotcha Smack over here is playing like his life depends on it in this gameplay, right? And so like that's you know that meme, right? Where it's like you see like stable Ronaldo, he's dancing to payphone, and then there's
Yeah.
like gameplay on the screen. That's like the Zhang Liao team, right? I'm dancing to payphone. And then you're over here like slamming your keyboard and shit, right? Like fucking sweating like crazy on your clear. And I'm like, it's like this gameplay is like really sweaty, and so like I'm not sure if it like it's comparing to like like literally face roll Zhang Liao teams, right? Or like
Yeah.
face roll Camellia teams or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like bro's out here swapping every he's basically playing a quick swap team, right? And then we're kind of like talking about the strength of
Overworking.
like 1.0
Overworking.
hyper carries.
Overworking. I
Exactly,
get what
right?
you said. Yeah.
And if you play that team, that S Rover Zani team, at like the same level of intensity as you would play a Zhang Liao team, oh brother, that's getting like a 2 minute clear,
Yeah.
right? It's like the timer's gonna be at 2 minutes by the time you clear.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
That's fair.
yeah, so
But
that's
see,
like the main point that I was making. I should have clarified it a little bit more clearly. I might
that
have.
actually makes a lot more sense too, to be honest with you. But I will say
Yeah.
that does bring up the point from a way back when where I was telling you this game is fucking going down the Genshin path because it's going away from your ability to skill express and be rewarded for that. And now rewarding people for doing the 1, 2, 3. Don't do any extra shit and you'll do the same damage. It's like,
I will say,
what is the
Smack,
purpose of all the quick swapping if I'm gonna do the same fucking damage?
if you pull Phoebe, get her, and then play the Zani Phoebe Rover team quick swap with the same intensity you played it with the Shorekeeper, you will see an incredible return on your results.
Yeah,
It's
spend
just-
$200.
Yeah, well, I mean, you look at what you just have on your screen right now. Okay, it's not that big of a deal. It's like it was like that's literally the new unit on your fucking roster right now.
No. But although, and you know what's funny? Look, nobody knows this. This is never before seen smack footage. You ready for this? Look at this site. Look who I picked up, bro. Oh
What is this?
shit. Nobody knows this site, and now it has been revealed. But
You got her?
I picked her up off stream too. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, all right. Looks like we might see some Cartithia footage. Is this why you
This
never
is-
upload a single video on the character?
No, this is the first time I've ever been picking her up and playing with her. But this is what I'm trying to say, though, saying, and here's the thing. That's the hypocritical thing of content creators, right? I bitch and complain about how much money you got to spend, and then I spend the money my damn self. But the thing is, I just wanted to make sure, even though me and you were joking about it, and I completely understand, like, yeah, you got the it's true, but it's like, we have to stop normalizing how much money goes into getting these fucking characters, though, because it is atrocious amounts of money for just a character that you enjoy for a bit and then you move on. It's like, that's $100 purchase, man. That's fucking Clear Up Skier Expedition and a Mario Party game that'll last you
Yeah,
for the next 10 years.
Yeah, that's why I'm always, making sure that when it comes to the content that I'm making, like pull value stuff like that, I'm always being very honest about like how good a character actually is and how much they're actually going to add to your account. Same thing with the weapons, always talking about alternatives and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because one thing for certain is you can pay, right? And I think
Mm-hmm.
one thing that you said is kind of like it is too, I think it definitely can be extended to Gacha. You talked about the idea of paying for convenience, working
Absolutely.
man, so on and so forth. And it's no lie at all to say that if you complete all the content free to play in a game like this, it gives a decent amount of pulls. You can
No, it
like
does. There's no
guarantee you
denying
can
it.
get you can guarantee a 5-star like every other patch, assuming you lose
Yep.
50-50 as well.
Even
If
guarantee
you
a
win,
SIG.
yeah. And this is the thing, right? You think about all the free weapon 10 pulls. I think if you're a day one player, you have like a weapon and a half in terms of like free weapon pulls that are probably maybe even 2 weapons, right?
That is the
From the
part of
free
why
weapon
we
pulls
can
that have been
agree
given
is
out.
absolutely free to play friendly. They give you a considerable amount without spending a single penny.
Absolutely right. And so it's like I feel like there's a lot of free to play, like literally free to play players that do have extremely competitive rosters. Like like I don't think there's a single day one free to play player struggling with the TOA. But that's naturally something that takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
And it's like you brought up like the argument with like new players and stuff too. And I was just like from the perspective, I definitely agree that it's like a deeper milestone to spend. But I feel like the biggest concern for Endgame should be somebody that's at 30 out of 30 right now,
Mm-hmm.
and then is trying to go to 30, 36 out of 36. And if that's something that reasonably takes somebody like a month, 2, 3, 4 months, then that's where that whole 100 asteroids only argument makes a lot more sense.
I get what you're saying.
I didn't act, yeah, right, because it's like theoretically they actually only lose out on 400 over the course of 4 months. Yeah, if that's what it takes for them to catch up from not being able to clear right now. I feel like the biggest issue with the TOA currently is not those that have yet to even like start it or even play the game. It's those that have currently 30 out of 30 and now cannot 36 out of 36, right?
Yeah.
And
Well,
if that
I was just gonna say my thing is it's I don't know if you said anything about it in the reaction, but it's that as soon as I smell shit, I'm gonna point it out. And
Yeah.
this was the very first reveal of it.
And I was saying, I see too much of what Kuro's doing currently, at least in this update, to get to the point where I'm like, dooming it.
Yeah.
I also had another point of critique where you're like, oh, this is like this is the best they can do after a year. I'm gonna be honest, man. In terms of like varying the buffs and like making the TOA more interesting as a game mode,
Yeah.
I like the implementation that they did with the buff, right? Where they're going ahead, making it a little bit more skill based, making it something where you're actually highly incentivized to dodge to have a permanent 10% damage increase on the boss.
Mhm.
It's like stuff like that where I was like, I do feel like it is well designed from that degree. But I even made like a disclaimer at like in my react. I actually recorded one separately. I think that 60% damage buff, the one that starts a minute in, ramps up by 5% every second to 60%.
Yeah.
I think that should be multiplied by 50%. That's my
Damn.
take. I think it should go up to 90% total. And that would make it so that if you're somebody that's like Sigless, doesn't have a lot of investment, the damage ramps up even further at the tail end of the fight.
Yeah.
It doesn't like interrupt those that are like wailing or anything like that or have really built teams. They still get to like feel a challenge.
Yeah.
But then those at like the lower end, right, get a bit of a damage boost right when they need it to like, hopefully scrape by with the clear. So like I made like adjustments like that, like suggestions like that as well.
No,
overall.
no. I think you were cooking. I think you were cooking. Here's the thing is mine's is a completely different take from yours though. I think giving me a shield and then that shield is pretty much pointless because I'm not supposed to get hit. I'm supposed to dodge. So I'm just like, what the fuck do I have a shield on for? I think that's a bit counterintuitive. I would prefer if they had something in the tower, and this is what I've always wanted, where if I dodge 5 times in a row, I get to do a true damage strike. And now I'm incentivized to dodge 5 times in a row. If I parry 4 times in a row, I get to do a finisher. Now I'm incentivized to parry. This is me and my definition. Wuwa using their beautiful combat system to bring a more like intricate depth to it. It would make the things that you can do in here that you can't do in Genshin amazing.
Wait.
It would make them stand out.
I will push back a little bit on what you just suggested, right? And it's kind of like actually almost in the opposite direction of the challenge that's in the TOA right now. Units like Zani, Gion, so on and so forth, right? Want
Yeah.
to face tank attacks, right? So they
Mhm.
want a healer on their team. They want to face tank attacks, right?
Mhm.
And
Doing
the
that would
take
take
that
away from them their value. Is that where
it
you're
would
going with
take
it?
away from them, and it would also take away from think about a character like Jinsei. If you dodge with Jinsei and then you do her dodge counter, it takes like 3 fucking seconds, and your laser beam's gonna come out 3 seconds later. You
Right.
think about like a, there's a lot of teams that don't really like dodge. Think about Cartithia in the air. It's like I think they really have to like think carefully a lot about the buffs that are being put in because there's so many different ways to like navigate the battlefield in this game. Like for
It's
example,
easy
like
to
I don't know if
disrupt the
you've
balance. Very
yeah,
delicate.
I don't know if you've like played her in her Moonbow form. You
Mhm.
don't really need to dodge when you're playing her, right? Because she has dashes built in on her resonance skill and stuff like that. If you're like dodging with her, it's almost like you're misplaying, right?
Yeah.
So it's
Well,
like
that new moon state dodge hits like a fucking truck. I seen 330Ks. Like, it's like if you can
oh
dodge and do that counter, it's like fucking Havoc Rover counter damage.
Oh yeah. It's like that. But most of the time, if you're trying to just rotate with her as fast as possible, that's maybe more in main DPS, right?
Yeah.
You're kind of like not incentivized to use those abilities. So I feel like this pass of the buff, where it's like if you are really into the dodge counter heavy play style, like a Camellia or like a Havoc Rover, that's why the
Mhm.
Wallenstein's clear was so good. Was that he was spamming dodge counters and Havoc Rover has a great multiplier on them.
Yeah.
It's like that's the type of characters that end up like shining. And it's like I could see the scenario, right? Where it's like the buffs end up feeling too limited because now it's like, okay, to activate this buff to damage the enemy, I now have to run into their attacks. So
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah, it's like, and oh, not only that, it's the whole rotation versus the timer thing too. I find myself, and you call me and you let me know if you disagree. When I go in this tower, Saint, I'm just dodging intuitively. What I'm doing though is just getting through my rotation without really worried about the fuck the mob is doing. And like that's because I'm battling a timer. Whereas my best combat experience games are games like Dark Souls and Monster Hunter, where I have to study the monster to really be able to overcome the fight. I can't just do what I want to do and just fucking string along what he's doing. I have to actually pay attention or I'm gonna get my teeth kicked in. And I hate that the tower, it is the biggest thing I think a lot of people who agree would come to sense on. The timer and the way the monsters are set up, it takes away from the beauty of mastering a fight a lot. Whereas if the timer was gone and they enhanced the telegraphic moves and impact of these moves from these monsters, you would be a lot more locked in because you would understand a timer's not saving you anymore or blocking you from studying the fight, and the fight's a real impact now. Saint, you there? Oh shit. Damn, bro. The Hoyo bots got him, boys. Hello? Oh, you know what? Maybe his mic died. He's still in here.
hello.
Yep.
Shit,
Yep. Now you're here.
yeah.
Now you're
I
here.
was I was gonna say, right, the timer goes ahead and like incentivizes me to go as fast as possible. And one thing that I do, right, is with a character like Shorekeeper, I try to dodge the attack as soon as I can. If there's a boss, like I studied the boss moveset, right, at the start of the TOA. Dragon a Dirge, right? Sometimes it dashes backwards if you like lunge into it at the start of battle. And if you don't, right, it goes ahead and like immediately does a slam down. If you're on Shorekeeper, you dodge, you do the dodge counter, follow up with the skill, and you're basically at max concerto. And you now cut down her rotation time by like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit less than that, right? Because you knew the boss's moveset and you knew you could throw that dodge in to optimize the rotation, right? And rotate a little bit faster.
Do you find that is what you find appealing and enjoy about the TOA?
Yeah, and so it's like the more times I run it, right, the more times I remember, oh, I can like dodge during this one part to speed up the Mortefi here or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And it's just
I
like
have some enjoyment to some capacity with those same aspects too, by the way.
and it's like that part I see as like kind of like my main argument against like the whole idea that like, oh, the timer is like something that like disincentivizes the systems of the game, because I see that like, oh, when you know the boss's moveset and you can make those optimizations, you're directly rewarded with like a faster rotation.
Right.
And that means, right, that you're directly impacting the timer, that sort of thing. It's like because you played well, you have a time savings on what you were doing.
No, and you brought up a
So-
fair point earlier too about the delicacy of, these games are so multifaceted and intricate that you can't just put some mere element in the game and expect it not to make certain characters broken while other characters don't get as benefit as much from it. I do think that's up to the mathematicians and the team though, the devs, to balance out through testing,
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
And that's
bro.
why I view this first pass as something where it's like, okay, if you're somebody that can like, it's one of the most universally applicable buffs that I've seen that also ends up like shilling a unit.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, right?
No, yeah.
And with this being their first pass, I view it as like that's where I also made some of the arguments against the whole like.
You're good. Your mic was loud. I had to turn it down a bit.
Oh, my bad.
No.
Sometimes it like you know like Tyler One and Dantes, like those guys. Yeah, sometimes my mic turns like that.
Wait,
Occasionally.
shit, dude, what the fuck, man?
Yeah. Sounds like I'm using one of those old ass Logitechs.
Yeah.
My bad. I think
No,
I
you're good.
fixed it.
You're good.
I think I fixed it. Okay. I was talking about the TOA buff that came out on these third and fourth floors, and I was just like, you know what? It's like I reflect back. I think about the HSR Genshin buffs. You know, Genshin literally had a buff that was if your character has 0 energy, deal 75% more damage. And there are only 2 characters in the game that
Who
don't
actually
have
use-
energy: Mavuika and Skirk. And
Yeah,
that's
that's
just the
Hoyo.
buff. Deal 75% more damage if you have 0 energy, because every other character refunds energy after using their ultimate. So it's
Yeah, that's fucking ridiculous.
I think about those, and then I think about the TOA, and I'm like, okay,
Here's
they
an
added these
interesting.
new difficult floors, and the buffs are just incomparable.
No, I was gonna say though, but here's an interesting thing though. Would you prefer a free for all boss format in the TOA where you could, if you wanted to, you could very much use the exact same team no matter what and get the job done, or would you prefer what they do now, where it's gonna be tailor made to certain characters to excel?
I kind of can agree with I could agree with the approach right now that after the new TOA floors have been added and there's already this much elemental differentiation, I don't think they really need the vigor system anymore. Now
Yeah.
that I think now that I'm doing some reflection on it, I don't think I really made too much of a comment on it recently.
No, I get
think
you. I
that
mean, dude,
because-
thoughts change. Hell.
Yeah, because of all of the stuff they've added, because there's right now the left side of the tower is all havoc enemies.
Right.
The right side is all arrow. And then in the middle, we then proceed to have I don't even fucking know, right? It's like a fallacy, which is Spectro.
Uh-huh.
And so there are right now like 4 or 5 different resistances in the, I think it's Fusion and Glacio on side 4.
Yeah.
Floor 4, right? So that's 1, 2 with Spectro. That's 3. And then Havoc and Arrow. There are already 5 resistant attributes that are currently in the tower. At that point, it's probably not needed to have Vigor because you'll have teams that just can't be used.
There's
because of the
restriction there
elements.
already. I
Yeah.
get what I've been picking up what you're putting down. That makes sense. It's
Yeah.
kind of like you're just like doubling down on something that's kind of unnecessary.
Yeah, I guess the only thing that they would want to avoid is somebody using the Augusta team literally in all of the floors, which is kind of like the offset of not having the Vigor, because none of those floors are weak to Electro, or none of those floors are Electro resistant, right? And so with no Vigor, someone could theoretically just take their one Augusta team and just do the entire
bulldoze
TOA.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah, and so at that point, it's almost like, okay, I can see why they still have it, but I think it's like a delicate thing.
I
Right?
love these
Because
kind of conversations, by the way, because it
I-
highlights why things are done the way they are.
Yeah, I personally feel like it's a little bit off if someone did use only the Augusta team.
Yeah. Well,
like,
then again, though, my take is any more like you shouldn't restrict a player to play how they want to play, man. That's my biggest like ideology or concept of it. And restricting somebody, if that's what they want to do, fucking let them do it, man. But the one pushback would be it would be a bad business move in terms of FOMO and no pressure to pull on characters for the sake of diversity of clearing in-game content.
Yeah, absolutely right. That's like the whole that's like the whole thing for Vigor because well naturally right it's you really don't have to pull a lot of T's if that's the way
Yeah.
they're going with. Maybe they have like a fucking negative Vigor mechanic where you can use a character beyond their limit, but then they get like a debuff to their stats.
Right.
Or something like that, right?
Yeah,
I
that'd
think
be
that
so
would be
fucking annoying.
that would be kind of interesting. I think that'd be kind of cool actually.
Well, it would take a little bit of restrictiveness off of people not being able to play who they want to play, right?
Yeah,
and then
but
then there's characters like cheat codes where it's like, well, Shorekeeper don't need to do no damage, so
yeah.
I don't
so
care.
it's like but maybe her HP gets like a big nerf or something like that,
Yeah,
right? She only
right.
heals like half of what she normally heals. So it's like stuff like that where I think they could get a little bit creative with it. And then make it so that you're probably never going to use a DPS character 3 times, but maybe you can use them in like floors 2 and 3 if you're like really short on characters, just to like
I
do
just
it that way.
I'm bummed out that they fucking negative edged me with the finisher with Rover in the very beginning of the game, and then they never built off of that ever again. And I was just like, man, you guys can totally add a finisher for every fucking character in this game if you just put in the time.
Actually did do that in Lupa's quest in 2.4, right? They had a button that you pressed during the Bia fight, and then you did like Lupa's enhanced intro on it.
Yeah, but you know what I mean, though. I'm talking about permanent. Like everybody,
I know it's like an execution mechanic or something.
Maybe
like
even
low
only
HP.
you can do it in hologram fights, even if you just limit it to one aspect of the game, or if it's in the fucking thousand of the shit ways mode, which by the way, that mode has gotten a lot better since I actually tried it the other day. But I just want people to have finishers. And then, the crazy thing is, if they add that in the game, it actually shows the player base. They're not just trying to milk you dry for money, because that's an aspect they didn't monetize at all. They just added it in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But even if they
finisher
monetize it,
animations-
I think it will work.
Yeah, I guess it's like finisher animations for me are just like I think of like the fucking one for like every character has one for every boss, or it's like it's like I don't know if you can
Not
use
every
the same
boss.
finisher they
No.
use on like the Sentry Construct on like Inferno Rider.
Wait, why
It's
not?
like
What I'm trying to say is like a finisher is a signature move that the player does. It's unique to the player. It doesn't change. It's always going to be the same thing. But you do it with that player on every single. It's like fucking I don't know, Street Fighter when Akuma turns around and does his like glare and shit. Bing. You know what I mean?
Oh, you mean like an exit animation or something like that?
Yeah, exit animation. Yeah, but also like they got 10% health remaining. Pop this fucking button to do a cinematic finisher with the character, and it would elevate the quality.
What? They kind of did that in Virtual Crisis, where they played the convene animation of
I didn't know
unit the unit that dealt the finishing blow. They play their convene animation and then like show the score that you got.
Bro, that would be so lovely to be a perm. It would elevate. It would literally be an increase in value of characters.
I mean,
but
this
I would
is the
take it a
thing, their
step further.
convene
and do it.
animations are fucking amazing, right? Like,
They're
it would be-
spectacular.
Yeah, so I think they could just implement
Cinema.
those like how the TOA screen right now only shows like the 3 stars, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just have the convene animation of the character that finished the boss play as the stars are popping up, and then you can like keep watching it or just click the confirm button.
Yeah, no, it's saying I'm gonna be honest with you. I can talk with you for another hour. My voice is getting cooked. My voice is getting cooked, man.
I gotta get to bed too. It's
Hey,
getting a little bit late for me.
It's completely fine, and I know you got your conversation in the morning. Chat, W's in the chat for Saint. I think we got a lot of conversations out of the way. Chat, first of all, I fucking apologize. I'm not gonna play the story. My voice is cooked. We'll be back fucking another day, hopefully. Saint, thank you so much for coming on call, man.
No worries. Hope you enjoyed the farm, brother.
No, you're a stand-up guy, man. And I look forward to having the podcast this weekend, unless I figure out that I'm more sick than I thought I was.
Hey, get your damn voice back first. It would be awful if it wasn't there for the podcast.
Yeah, I know, man. No, but I appreciate it, Saint. You have a wonderful night, brother.
All right, you too, man. Peace out.
All right.
See you later.
All right, we'll pack it up, boys. Holy fuck, man. My voice is absolutely cooked, chat.
It is shattered, dude. Get better, Smack. I'm taking an antibiotic tomorrow, getting this shit out of my system. Hey, but Chad, I appreciate y'all sticking around, man. Like I said, no bad blood between me and Saint, man. Hey, we're two content creators, two adults. You know, it doesn't matter about like disagreements and shit, as long as you're able to get in the call, talk things out, hear the other person out, let them fucking cook, and don't try to debate every point the person makes. Try to find some common ground. You know what I'm saying? I think that's like my message of the day, the unk message of the day. But yeah, bro, you know, this it's hashed. It's all good. I'm about to take my sick ass to bed. Fuck, I'm cooked. Hey, love y'all, chat. Thanks for tuning in, man. I'm out. Peace. Pray for me, man. Holy fuck.